go live.
You want to open it up?
Yeah, since we're live, you guys don't need me to record my audio or anything like that, right?
No, I'm just going to take the VOD and just
cool.
re-upload the VOD, yeah.
Sick.
We can do this really simple.
All right.
All right, do you want to, yeah.
I can do it. I'll do the intro. Yeah, so we're joined here by Justin Whang, the master of filth.
It was going on, the master of filth. I like that.
that's the moniker that I thought of, off the top of the dome, because Whang, I mean, you make the filthiest videos on YouTube and somehow are able to still have them monetized, which is unbelievable.
It's weird because the ones that are monetized you wouldn't expect to be monetized, and the ones that get demonetized are like, wait, really? So it's always, you never really know.
Wasn't the cum jar one monetized for a long time?
Well, there's two of them.
Yeah.
The first one, I believe it's the first one that is monetized, and the second one, the one where you see him pouring the jar, that's the one that's demonetized.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that one actually does, yeah.
Weird.
If I guess that's where they draw the line at the pouring of it.
So, I guess I'll do just another intro. Whang is here today to talk about Liquidi Sky. It was, I want to say it was about 6-7 months ago on a stream. You told me to watch it, and I watched it, and it was very strange, and we decided we would talk about it at some point. So he's here today to talk about Liquidi Sky, among other things. If anyone in the chat has questions or whatever, we're going to save those for the end. So we're going to do this normal podcast style. This is the very first Kinokast live, and you are all joining me on my 27th birthday, and I'm just praying that I don't become part of the 27 club this year. So drinking to...
That's right. That's the year everybody dies, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, this is the most dangerous year for me.
Happy birthday, Kino.
Thank you. I'll stay away from as many shotguns and rock and roll as possible for this entire year. And
I mean, you're starting it off already. Like, you're gonna have a crazy weekend next weekend. So.
Oh yeah, I'll be at Rusty's. Gosh, yeah, I'll be at Rusty's. And I'll be also shooting 2 videos about Come and See in Blue Velvet. So really, anything could happen on any of those.
What's great about this conversation we just had, it's like we're all just joking, but at the same time, now because we made these jokes, you're gonna be hanging out with Rusty, and at some point throughout the weekend, that thought's gonna pop into your head. Like, Rusty's gonna do something that you're kind of like, I don't know about that, and then it just like your death flashes before your eyes.
Yeah, I've been really worried about it. The 27, that's the most dangerous year for a young man. So let's just hope I can get through this.
All you gotta do is make sure you don't choke on your own vomit.
And all I have to do is make sure that I don't have sex with some weird blonde girl in her penthouse apartment. Going back to Liquidi Sky.
That's right. As soon as I said why not, it came back to me. I haven't watched the movie since I spoke to you about it, which was several months ago at this point.
I thought you were talking
Courtney. No, I'll refresh you guys about it because I just rewatched it this morning. Cool. I know that Oki watched it yesterday, or maybe finished watching it today.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like a Black Widow type story. So for anyone who doesn't know about it, it used to be on Amazon Prime, but it's no longer on Amazon Prime. Which
I believe it's still on Shudder, though.
Oh, is it on Shudder?
Which of course, cool. Shudder. Code Whang. Of course.
Code Whang. I actually I used Code Whang. I got a year of Shudder. So.
Shudder is unironically probably my favorite of all the things that sponsor me. So,
yeah, I really liked. I watched One Cut of the Dead a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a great. Oh, it's not so much a horror film. Like, it's a movie about filmmaking, but it's so spot on. Like, with just
it looks like a very. I get the impression it's a very meta horror movie.
Oh yeah, and it's super meta. I don't want to spoil anything because there's some big, I guess, twists. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's really good. I would say you should go watch it. It's like 80-90 minutes long. It's not that long. And I had a really fun time watching it. Highly recommend it. I think I gave it like a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. Like I really enjoyed it. I really like Shudder. I watched Sleepaway Camp on there too.
Oh, have you watched it like in the past?
No, I haven't seen it in the past.
Recently?
Yeah,
dude, I like that. Like your first time watching Sleepaway Camp is always the most special time.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites to go back to because it's just of all the 80s slasher movies, it's just one of the best done ones.
Yeah,
but you only get your first Sleepaway Camp experience one.
Yeah. Again,
they would never ever in a million years have a twist like that in a movie in 2021. Holy shit! No way. Even now, like looking back, I'm like, damn, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, but that's why I like it. It's just like with a lot of those like older horror films, they really kind of went all out with some of the stuff. The stuff felt more edgy, or it felt more like, I hate to use the word brave or something like that, but it felt like they just didn't give a fuck back then, and they'd be like, yeah, we're just gonna do this.
Yeah, brave isn't the right word because it's not really brave when it's like it's okay for you to do it. It's brave when it's not okay for you to do it.
It'd be brave to make Sleepaway Camp now, I think.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't get investors.
What I was thinking about was that movie Karen. Did you see that one?
Wait, it's coming out on BET, right?
Is it?
Is that the one?
What are you? It's the one
out.
about the black family who moves into a town. They're terrorized by their racist white neighbors who have
It's coming out on BET. Yeah,
it really is. All right.
Have you guys
so
let Wang finish, Oki.
Sorry, yeah.
We're talking about black people movies. Let Wang finish.
Yeah. Well, no, I seen the trailer for that, and like at first I'm like, wow, this is like so. My first impression was like, oh my god, this is like so lame. And then I thought about it in the context of this is basically what we have, what an exploitation movie is in 2021. That they're latching onto some hot button social issue and like making a horror movie out of it. And then I get to thinking, I'm like, shit, like with everything being the way it is now, like they're not gonna get as crazy as they should get. But if they made Karen in like 1970, you have like Fred Williamson in there somewhere, like that movie would be fucking crazy. And that's what when I was talking about it made me think of that movie, Fight for Your Life. I don't know if you've seen that. Fight for Your Life. It's this movie, similar in the sense that it's like you have this black family that like you have these criminals on the run and they break into their house and kind of like hold them hostage, but then by the end of the movie they get their revenge, and it's a fucking exploitation movie, so their revenge is brutal as fuck.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's how Karen would be if it was made in the 70s.
Yeah, like some of those. I watched.
I did see this on YouTube like so long ago. This Fight for Your Life movie.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I did.
Is it on YouTube?
It was at the time when I watched it. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Talking about crazy exploitation movies. The 90s in Russia. I've been, of course, watching a lot of Russian movies. The 90s in Russia was a really weird time. And after I made my Sallow video, which is still monetized, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And after I made my Sallow video, I had several people reaching out to me saying like, hey, Kino, if you think Sallow is disturbing, you should watch The Green Elephant. And I was like,
you've been telling me to watch that.
Yeah, and
I guess you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Made an impression.
I enjoyed it to an extent. I thought it was a really funny movie. If I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was just funny. Like it does have shit eating. That's why I guess people brought it up. It does have just like grotesque, absurd violence. There's like a whole scene in there where like they're like torturing this guy while lecturing him about the history of Pearl Harbor, and it's like to have two Russian guys like in this dank basement that looks like something out of Saw, and they're just talking about the history of Pearl Harbor. It's just, I don't know, it's so strange. But I was thinking about the stuff that they do in that film. Obviously, that also wouldn't fly, but it makes it kind of funny. Like that's just there is a sort of level, and I wanted to contrast that with. I know that I was talking to you the other day about this. I watched Martyrs.
Yeah, the original one, right?
The original Martyrs, yeah.
Did they remake Martyrs?
It's an American one. I haven't seen it. I'm told that it's better than you would expect, but it's still not as good as the original. Yeah,
but I wanted to like contrast it because, like in The Green Elephant, there's stuff that's maybe on the same level of like gore and of disgustingness and stuff like that, but just the way that it shows it is like comedic. It's like, I don't know, I was like laughing when I was watching it. I thought it was silly. And then Martyrs, it was hard to watch in some parts. It was very intense. I was just thinking about like sometimes the exploitation stuff is actually just fun. It's not really disturbing in any way.
I mean, to me, it's always been fun.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time an exploitation movie like really made me like. There's probably something I'm overlooking.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just go into them as like, oh, this is like a fun fucking, oftentimes shitty movie to watch.
Yeah, and I kind of like it when it's like the shitty movies just kind of go all out on like the gore and the blood and the just craziness, and and you pair that with like bad acting. There's a sort of special magical like mix right there that makes it fun.
And there's like kind of a realness to it that like you don't really get anymore.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the movie Rolling Thunder? It's like an exploitation movie from the 70s, and the whole thing, it's like supposed to be this revenge thriller, but for most of the movie, he just like it's not that he gets off on people beating him up, but he just lets people beat him up until, it's only in like the last like 15 minutes where he actually, gets revenge and attacks people and stuff. But like for most of the movie, it's just him, and he's like, "Yeah, beat me up." Yeah, beat me. That made me.
He's openly inviting it. I thought you meant he just like wasn't fighting back.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. Like it's supposed to be this kind of weird sadomasochistic thing, but then, yeah,
it sounds kind of like Itchy the Killer, in a way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's just uncomfortable. I don't know. That made me uncomfortable. And then there's this Peter Bogdanovich movie about a shooter at a university. I don't know if you remember this one. Targets, Kino? Or you've seen
I haven't seen Targets. No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That's another one where I'm just like, yeah, this is really uncomfortable.
I like Peter Bogdanovich, though. Although I was a little disappointed in him recently because he was in It Chapter 2. He plays as himself in It Chapter 2. For people who don't know who Peter Bogdanovich is, he's like a legendary director, The Last Picture Show. He was also, before he was a director, he was the official biographer for Orson Welles.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay. I remember spending a night reading all about that fucking biography he was making.
Yeah, and he's in The Other Side of the Wind, which is on Netflix and is a fantastic film. And he has this great kind of weird relationship with John Huston in it. No, but I really like Peter Bogdanovich, but he was in It Chapter 2, and that movie stunk. It was so just not scary. Like, did you see that, Whang?
I didn't watch either of the new It movies.
It's Stranger Things. It's just like, all right, let me get a new episode of Stranger Things. It's 3 fucking hours long. That's how long It Chapter 2 was. And it was just structured where it's like, okay, this one character is going to go to this place, and then Pennywise is going to pop up and scare them and chase them around. And then this other character is going to go to this place, and Pennywise is going to pop up, scare them, and chase them. It felt very soulless.
It came out after Stranger Things too, right?
It did, yeah.
Did it feel like it was self-consciously trying to kind of cash in on that?
Well, I mean, like there's a sort of weird, kind of thing. It's like when you're talking about Westerns and samurai films, it's like at what point did the Westerns influence the samurai films? At what point did the samurai films influence the Westerns? Mm-hmm. And I feel that about Stranger Things and like Stephen King and 80s films in general. And it's like, so Stranger Things was definitely very much influenced by Stephen King, and it's definitely influenced by like 80s movies, Goonies, It, and like it was influenced by, I think, by the original It. And then so when the new It came out, they had some of the same cast as Stranger Things, and it felt like they were essentially trying to make a movie version of Stranger Things, but it's weird because Stranger Things was influenced by It, in the first place. So it's kind of like
it's all very incestuous.
It's like this
chicken or the egg situation,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny, like this conversation makes me think, I was just listening to like Tarantino was on Rogan this morning.
Yeah.
So then I was listening back and they had like that same kind of conversation about how he puts out Reservoir Dogs, and then all of a sudden every fucking crime action movie that comes out is kind of like aping his style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a while, for like at least 5 years after Reservoir Dogs, there was that it created a whole genre of like low budget crime films.
It's funny too. I remember being in a screenwriting class too at that point, like much later than that now I think about it. But it was still like the Tarantino effect was still being felt very strongly. And we're sitting in class and like I'm guilty of this too. Like I can't look back at the shit that I wrote. I cringed so fucking hard. But even though my professor thought it was great, but I was like, oh my god, I'm trying so hard to be Tarantino whenever I write dialogue, and it's so annoying to read now. Everyone in the class was either trying to be Tarantino or trying to be Kevin Smith, and it's so fucking apparent.
I think that still happens now, like, because I just think that
there's
happens. Something about if you're in your 20s and you're a guy, you're gonna kind of want to make a Tarantino movie or like ape his style. It's just it's a cool style, funny. And
Well, actually, it's funny because Oki and I we were trying to Kino pill Turkey Tom last night.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, he was like, all my friends, he goes, everyone my age only watches like Tarantino and blah blah, and Tarantino and David Fincher, and we're like, well, that's I guess based? It's like based. But it's the thing is that their films are very good, like entry into cinema. So I think that a lot of it's like you're 16, you find this movie like Pulp Fiction that has a lot of interesting things. It's a very super well-made movie, and it can kind of like branch out. You can discover Fellini through Pulp Fiction. You can discover a lot of other, sort of filmmakers and genres through it. But it's kind of the entryway, and so a lot of like teenagers latch onto it because it's also very accessible. It's also just very entertaining. Like anyone can watch Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction and just have a really great time with it. So and often, when you're a really big fan of something, you always try to ape the style. So it makes sense that like even today, 18, 19, even going into like early 20s kids, they try to be Kevin Smith or they try to be Tarantino or they try to and any of these directors sort of also have styles that are sort of easily like replicable.
Can I say something? Kevin Smith has never been that good. Like Clerks was okay, but like and then like I guess like Mallrats is all right, but like he's not.
Chasing Amy was based. Chasing Amy.
Oh man, I gotta rewatch that. But like, I don't know. He's just.
I remember really enjoying that movie in general, Chasing Amy. I mean, Kevin Smith. I remember the very first time I watched Clerks, I fucking hated it. I hated it so much. I found the dialogue so fucking annoying. But then it just happened to be that was one of the DVDs that I had at work so it was there. So I would just watch it over and over again. And then for a while, because the more I watched it, the more it became one of my favorite movies.
It's like, all right, go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say the thing with Clerks is it's admirable just for when you go back and watch it as a filmmaker and you see like, man, this take is running for like 5 minutes. Like they're just talking for 5 minutes. It almost feels like a stage play in that sense. And you have to give it to the actors to be able to just do all of that on like one take or, one shot.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, a lot of actors can.
I do think that.
I mean, we were talking about like working as like an extra on things. Like you see all the time, like these big actors, like they like just like fucking fumbling their like not knowing their lines if it goes past a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually had that happen on my movie that I'm going to be uploading tomorrow. Speaking of Kevin Smith, Jeremy London is in it. He was in star Mallrats, and I was working with mostly non-professional actors and everything. And they were so just like worried about messing stuff up that they would like really memorize everything. And with Jeremy, he fumbled his lines more than my my non-professional or like it was maybe like their first feature. He fumbled his lines more than they did. And I think it actually made them feel a little bit better.
Yeah. I think part of that too probably is that the less experienced actors, they probably
overcompensate.
Someone who's experienced, they know what safeguards are there for them should they need them, so they're not as worried about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the less experienced guy, like people are like, I got to like memorize everything. I got to have the whole script. And I actually, I like that attitude because it makes my life easier.
Well, yeah, for sure.
If, when you're professional, oh, okay, I can get another take. We can stitch this together. Like, this is fine. Like, and so you don't stress out as much. So yeah, no, I think it was good that he fumbled some of his lines because it just made the other actors feel better. They're like, oh, okay. It's, maybe they weren't so high strung after. So it was a good morale.
Yeah, they probably were nervous to be in the same movie as him and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was a really good experience having him on, you were an extra and I was an extra. That's how we both got our start in like media. Well, I was a PA and I would extra on the side.
Yeah.
I guess
I'll have like PAs will kind of like, oh, we need an extra guy, an extra.
Yeah.
And it's hey, he's on set already.
Yeah. What happened to me was the first time I extraed was on this terrible film called USS Indianapolis: Men of Courage. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. It's on Netflix. You can watch it. You go to the 10-minute mark. You will see me. I was a featured extra, but what happened is I was just friends with the casting director or whatever of that film because I'd PA'd on stuff with them. I worked crew side, and I was actually off that day, and she called me up and said, look, we don't have like near as many extras as possible. You're in the age range, whatever. Like, would you mind just like coming to the set and just doing a couple scenes? And, because we have to get these shots. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't normally do this, but fine. I'll show up. I'll do it. And so I show up the set, but my body proportions are weird. I'm 6'2". I have size 14 shoes, and they literally did not have like anything that could fit me. So I was like this baggy looking like uniform with like these clown shoes, basically.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we can't like show you like standing up or something. So then they had me stand on it was the USS Alabama where they shot Under Siege, actually. That's the same. Oh, hell yeah. Same shit.
It's funny you said that, and that's immediately where my mind went. Just like not even knowing it was the same boat, just like, I guess that's like my go-to for something's happening on a boat.
Yeah. It's the same ship. Yeah. And so then when the second AD came out to me and was like, Peter, do you know how to weld? And I go, no. I'm 19. Like, I'm a 19-year-old kid. I'm like, no, I don't. He goes, do you want to learn? I'm like, yeah, sure. I've been standing there for 3 hours. I'm like, literally just get me out of this boredom. I'm standing here doing jack shit, bored out of my mind. Have me go weld some shit, right? So they bring me into this room. It's this tiny room. And they're like, all right, so in this, you're going to be welding like the tip of like an atomic bomb, like in this like meeting room or something like that. I'm like, okay. So they show me how to do it. I start doing it and go, okay, let's bring the actors in. Well, it turns out Nicolas Cage is going to be sitting right next to me. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I've never even been in front of the camera before. And the first time I'm fucking welding something right next to Nicolas Cage. So I'm doing it and it's fine. The director of that was Mario Van Peebles. And some funny stuff happened. So what happened was after like take 6 or 7, I started like doing it. The sparks were coming out, and then all of a sudden the sparks stopped, and it was just scraping metal on metal. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out how to like fix it, and stuff like that. I'm just like fumbling around going like, what the fuck is happening? And the first AD was a total dick, total douchebag. He just runs in there, starts screaming his ass off at me, going like, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You fucked up the scene, and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, give that. And he's like, I go, it's not working. It's not working. Like, I don't know what's wrong. He's like, give it to me, you fucking idiot. And then he starts doing it. And he's like, it's not fucking working. I'm like, that's what I'm telling you. And Nicolas Cage stood up to me. He said, stop yelling at the boy. Like, go fix it yourself. And I was like,
hell yeah,
Nicolas Cage.
And, like, imagine like expecting like a kid to like figure out welding in like 5 seconds. Like,
so
what?
It
like,
took 45 minutes. It took 45 minutes to fix. What had happened was the power for it. So it was on this extension cord going all the way through the ship, all the way onto the land. like maybe 3/4 of a mile away, somebody had walked over and tripped over the extension cord and unplugged it. So they had to follow the whole cord to find the power, and they found that it was unplugged like 3/4 of a mile away.
Mhm.
That's what had happened.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck. Why was it so long?
Because there was no power on the ship.
Boat, so they got
So they have to take it out to a generator out on land, like far away. But after that, Mario Van Peebles was super nice to me. And he was like, "Do you know who I am?" And I go, "No, sir." I go, "I assume you're the director." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Mario Van Peebles." And I go, "Oh, that's cool." I was 19. I had no idea who he was. I was like, and then he, the cinematographer of that was Andre Sekula, who was the cinematographer of Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and American Psycho. And I ended up working with him later as his assistant. And but Mario Van Peebles had me sit like in the video village with all the producers and everything like that. He's like, "Look at all the monitors." He's having me meet all the super nice guy, like honestly. And then Andre Sekula being this bitter Polish guy, based Polish guy too. He was like, "Yes," he goes, "You saying that you didn't know him," he was like, "It was a strike to his ego, so he had to be as nice to you as possible."
Oh, that's why.
Well, I don't know. He was super
nice.
He was super nice to me. Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe Andre was a little bit too like cynical about things.
He's probably being sarcastic.
He's Polish.
There seems to be like a strange thing, especially in entertainment, where people like they expect you to be thankful to be even part of it, so they think that we can just like abuse you in these situations and get away with it.
People remember though.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
hasn't really been my experience working that like at all. Like I've heard like one or two stories about this or that extra made eye contact with Jennifer Lopez, so she wanted them kicked off set. Or that's something I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Or like shit like that. You hear about every once in a while, but I've never personally encountered anything like that. Most
people are nice. Yeah, most people are really nice. Yeah. There's only been maybe a couple times. I was a PA in a movie called Arkansas, and people were telling me Vince Vaughn was on it, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta be really careful about Vince Vaughn. You can't look him in the eyes. You can't like do this and that." But I would have to go talk to him, right, to get like his lunch and whatever. He was the nicest guy to me, always like. He was, like, I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" Like,
something that I find that happens on set is that some people will kind of have opinions about people's personalities, whether it be that they're a dick or whether it be that they're all world. To make it seem like they have more of a relationship with them than they do.
That definitely does happen, especially in the extras. And I know that you have plenty of extra stories.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wait, you want to share a few? We can just exchange extra stories here. I think I
don't have any fresh in my head. I gotta think of a couple. I mean, there was this one lady. I think I talked about this on stream before. So on Gotham, I used to work. So when you work on a TV show, like when you look at a TV show, rather, you have certain recurring locations. There'll be something called like the core extras. So like if you have a office in a TV show, a lot of times the extras in the office will be like the same stable of people rotating throughout the season.
Yeah, it also happens. It also happens on movies. I was a core extra on Office Christmas Party. So if you watch the movie, you'll see me a lot in that film.
Yeah, like that rules because it's like it's a recurring job, and then you like that's probably one of the easiest positions to get an upgrade from.
Yeah, exactly,
and shit like that. What is kind of unusual is for a TV show to have core criminals in a police station or something, but Gotham had that each season. Every season on Gotham, whoever's in the GCPD, they have the same criminals recurring. And I was one of them in season 1. You never see me clearly at all. But I was there every single episode. But there is this one older lady. I don't know if you ever see her in there, but there's an older lady in that season. and she had to have like some kind of like eating disorder that she kind of like foisted onto other people as well. She's very
Yeah.
skinny. And so I didn't know this, but like some people said her breast smelled like vomit, so she probably had like bulimia or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But she would like kind of like lecture other people if they ate too much of craft services. One time I was sitting next to her for a scene and she's talking to me and like we had just eaten lunch. But then after lunch that's when they put the good stuff out at craft service after lunch.
Oh yeah.
In the morning it's just like donuts and bullshit. But then it's like all of a sudden we have like fresh grilled pitas with like homemade hummus and shit like that.
Mhm.
That's when all that stuff, like whatever the fuck has bacon in it, that's when all that stuff starts to come out. So the people who are playing the cops on that show, they're like, a few of them are going over like eating stuff after we just had lunch. She's like, look at them, like look how fat they are, and she's like pointing at, she's like describing one of their bellies and shit. Then apparently one day that I didn't work, she had gone and done this to one of the principal actors. I don't remember which one it was, and then I never saw her again. That was generally a chill set, but I guess like they draw the line you harassing an actor about their weight.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
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 It's interesting the projection that like some people, especially when they get into losing weight or exercising, and then like just they constantly push it on others. And
yeah. And craft services, let me tell you, craft services, that's where you get the drama in the extras. If there is drama, there was one guy on Office Christmas Party. He was like an immigrant, I think from like India or something. He barely would speak, and he had something wrong with his brain. There was something really off.
There's something wrong with his brain.
Yeah, there's something really off with him. He would go to the craft services and he would just fucking like eat everything, and then when people would try to go and like maybe get something, he would get like really defensive, like this was like his food, you know. It's like it was like
finish your story.
So he had a cycle, right, of going and fucking eating everything in craft services, and then you would hear him just shitting his brains out in the bathroom right next to extras holding. And it was every single fucking day.
I just remember, I'm just picturing this process happening, and in his mind, he thinks that like he has to eat all the food because he's got to make poop with it. Like it's not to enjoy the food. It's just like I got to make a big shit today.
Yeah, he was like, you would hear it through the wall, and I was like, oh my god, all right, whatever. God. He'd be in there for like half an hour too. It'd be a really long time. So
I feel like the only thing missing from that story is him pocketing the food, like just putting the fucking.
He probably did.
There's mad people who would show up and just fill their bags. Yeah. Actually, one of my favorite stories like that, there was that movie The Night Of. It was a series. The Night Of.
Yeah, with Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
I was one of the core prisoners in that.
Oh, that's
nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't ever actually see me in it. But like that happens a lot where you're there all the time, but you don't actually get seen on camera.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of there to fill out the background, put some movement in there.
Mm-hmm.
But one day at lunch on there, they always have like a variety of cakes at lunch. And we're getting to the end of lunch, and this one guy goes to the craft service guy. Like you have this one, it's like basically like almost a complete cake still left. So he goes, "Oh, can I take some of the cake home with me?" The guy's like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "They're gonna throw it in the garbage anyway." So what the guy does is he takes a knife, makes a slice of cake, then he takes the rest of the cake. It was some shit out of like a fucking cartoon, man. Like he made a slice. I guess in his mind, it's like, oh, if someone else wants a piece, they can have that piece. I'm taking the rest of this fucking cake. And just like packs it up and puts it in his bag.
I feel like that's if someone said take the cake and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna save the slice.
I mean, realistically, if that whole cake probably would have went in the garbage anyway, because like it's the end of lunch, people ate what they're going to eat. But that visual was just such a funny fucking visual. Like that was like some Bugs Bunny shit.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And honestly, the thinner the slice, the funnier too. Like it's
like an inch slice. Like
the smaller it gets, the more of a nominal courtesy it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can have the scraps here.
He just takes the fucking like the icing off with a toothpick and leaves that.
Like, oh my god! Yeah, that's how you do it.
So I want to get back to Liquid Sky. talk about Liquid Sky at least a little bit, because I do want to talk about this film.
It is a very unusual movie.
Yeah.
It's very unusual. So it's actually a Soviet film that was made in America. So I guess its core team, it was a director, their spouse, and then like something like the cinematographer and the production designer. It was only four Russian people. They came over to the States to make this movie. And it's a strange film. And the thing that's the most... Okay, so I'll just... For people here who don't know much about it, I'll give a very brief synopsis of it. So it's about these like art hoes basically in New York in the early 80s who are also addicted to heroin, or, you know, they're like druggies, whatever. They're performing in clubs or they're models and things like that. And actually the lead male and the lead female are played by the same woman. And the reason for that is the lead male guy like dropped right before production started. So they decided, all right. Yeah.
I figured that was like a deliberate artistic choice.
No. It was just a matter of like, we don't have an actor.
That fucking rules.
Yeah. So she ends up playing these kind of like competing personalities. And you know, and it's like these like parallel stories that converge. But what happens is that this UFO that's like the size, I want to say UFO is about this big. It's
literally like a little Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Jiffy Pop. It goes on top of her apartment, and initially what it's doing is it's trying to get the pleasure out of people shooting up heroin in there, because it goes to her apartment because people are shooting up heroin. But then it figures out that it can actually get more. They can get they live off of this sort of opiate kind of pleasure, and they can get more pleasure from basically killing people when they orgasm. Mm-hmm. And so then initially the bodies they kind of die, and then I guess these aliens figure out a way to just completely disintegrate the bodies. And so this main character turns, Margaret is her name, she turns into this kind of Black Widow kind of character, and she realizes that people who have sex with her dies, and she starts using it as this like weapon against some people to, I guess, get like empowered. And at the same time, this terrible actor, this German actor, is like, is studying them, and he's trying to get to the UFO. He's trying to stop everything that's happening. So there's this parallel.
Forgot about the German guy. That guy is so fucking funny.
Oh man, there are so many lines in this movie that are just hilarious.
I love the line. It's like your speech is what was it? It's like your entire speech is punctuated by the words shit and fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I could use that in so many people. Yeah, and then she's like, it's not my fault my pussy got teeth. Like, that's another line.
That was the thing I kept thinking about that movie, Teeth. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I've seen Teeth.
The Vagina Dentata movie. It's like kind of like a similar concept, but done in a different way.
With a lot more thermal imaging.
Yeah. So that's what it's called. I was trying to figure out like how to describe what happens whenever they use like drugs in the movie. That's
that's
when the alien is watching them. You get like that the predator vision.
Yeah, the predator vision. Yeah, and then and you see like the, and it kind of reminded me of R100. You know, when the people had the orgasms and they would see like the,
and the big eyes and
stuff. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, but like the thermal vision version of that. Yeah. But the thing is, and Whang, I read your Letterboxd review, and you bring up the score. The score feels like it's so strange.
I kind of like the score.
I read somewhere that it had like, it was like a key soundtrack in like kind of like the electro movement or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, I read something about that. It's been a while since I watched or read about it. I'm going to check what I wrote about it exactly. The soundtrack is so jarring because it literally sounds like someone bought like a Rap Man keyboard from the 90s, even though this is from the 80s. It sounds like that kind of tone, and just like burr, 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 burr. And there's a whole big scene when they're having a concert too.
Yeah, and in some parts it sounds almost like carnival music, or like it's referencing back to like 50s
Yeah.
like B sci-fi films. Like there are those kinds of sounds in it, and and I kind of got that. But I was thinking, I was thinking today. I was driving. I was getting my birthday tacos. And I was driving, just thinking about this. Yeah, and I was listening to Julie Cruz, and I was like, you know what? If I made Liquid Sky, I probably would have gone like having Julie Cruz do the soundtrack. Do you guys know who Julie Cruz is?
No.
Oh.
She does like the soundtrack to all the like the David Lynch movies.
Okay.
So like Blue Velvet, she does like the sort of dream pop like stuff, like all the Twin Peaks music where somebody is singing is Julie Cruz.
Okay.
Very sort of like beach house kind of or slow dive kind of vibes. I think she was one of the original dream pop thing, but I was like, I'd probably have something like that. Like, but maybe that's why they made it. I would have never, if I was making this movie, I would have never thought to put in this like.
Honestly, I guess I'm gonna be the only one who defends the score. I kind of liked it because like
I fuck with that soundtrack.
It goes with the weird editing of this movie, and it's like the whole atmosphere of the movie is just like disconcerting, where you'll get like 3 different scenes going on at the same time without the first scene ending, and it's like
it can be a very difficult follow movie for that.
It's like it's so
between
strange.
that and the one actor playing 2 characters.
Yeah. And doing it pretty and it's like you can so tell it's the same actor. It's not like although you could kind of tell in like the remake of Suspiria, Tilda Swinton is the psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever. But I think that they did a lot better job in Suspiria having Tilda Swinton play the 2, the male and the female. And this one it's pretty much like the girl wears like girly clothes and the male character wears a suit. And they have the same hair, they have the same everything.
Yeah.
It's like
something else that really like took me for a loop with that movie. One of the characters, I remember her very specifically being the character that's like singing in the club scene.
Yeah.
Is played by Paula Shepherd. And she's only done 2 movies.
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
She was in Alice. What was it called?
Alice, Sweet Alice.
Yeah,
like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
Something like it's like Alice, Sweet Alice, and Liquid Sky. Her only 2 movies. Both of them cult classics, and then she just retires.
Yeah, she became a mom, I think. Right?
Yeah,
like
she moved out west, I think, and became a mom.
Yeah. I mean, good for her. I mean, her character in this is freaky as fuck. Like she's like, I've never fucked a dead guy before, and and then that leads to a whole conflict where they're trying to like, I guess, stab each other.
There's so many lines from that character in particular where she describes the main character Margaret, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, she's a stuck-up cunt from Connecticut."
From Connecticut. Yeah.
And then what else? She sees the German guy, and the first thing that she says is, "Hey, big dick." Just the most random.
I just want to say this though. That line about people from Connecticut, I think, has been said quite a lot. Yeah, she's a stuck-up cunt from Connecticut. It's like all you have to say is that she's from Connecticut. Like, I'm sorry. I have family in Connecticut, so I understand.
I gotta also say, I think it's like the line is actually, she's a stuck-up waspy cunt from.
Oh yeah,
Connecticut.
wasp. Yeah.
So there you go.
It's like one of those movies too. Like it, like as someone like who grew up in New York and always lived in New York, that's like one of those movies where it's like you kind of like you get to like look through the time machine.
Yeah,
and it's like if I was to make a playlist of like New York movies, that would be in them.
Yeah,
that's a part too. Like coming down from like randoms coming down from fucking Connecticut. It's like I'm from New York, and it's like no, you're not.
Yeah,
fucking Connecticut.
By the way, scenes of the Twin Towers in the background, at least at one point. There.
Well, yeah, I mean it's the 80s,
of course, right? So yeah, I don't know.
But what I was going to say is that, it's like looking back on that whole new wave sort of time in New York too. That whole like new wave thing. And I read somewhere that this was like inspired by Andy Warhol's movie called Trash, which came out in 1970. I haven't seen that, but it does have this kind of Warhol type vibe, especially to how people dress, especially just to the aesthetics of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to point out that it does utilize bisexual lighting as, you know, the kind of lighting that Whang likes to use, the purple and the red.
I need something new. Like, everyone does this now. I need something new.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to use like blasted white lighting, or I don't know, maybe just all red, or maybe all. You got to have some kind of color contrast. Maybe orange and blue. Orange and blue is like huge.
Yeah, and orange blue is like the move if you want to like be like a superhero or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Mad Max Fury Road. It's like blue on the top and then orange on the bottom. You know, you can split it up. I think they literally just use some kind of filter. You know, so
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I would like to do though, it's like if I had a place I could just like renovate fucking exactly how I wanted to, I would probably even have like a little folder on my phone of interior inspirations, I guess. I just want to fucking have a place I can fucking deck out and make it look like Dracula lives here or some shit.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, something that always did stand out to me, because originally when I had set up my lights like this, I was thinking of Suspiria.
Oh yeah.
Then one of the less appreciated aesthetic elements of Suspiria are all of the really crazy wallpapers that the interiors have when they're not lit up red and blue. Yeah. If I could do something like that, that would be sick too, and kind of still have the same reasoning behind it.
Yeah, that would be cool. Definitely, especially, or like, I don't know, maybe make it look like a torture dungeon. You know, you could make another video on the Pain Olympics with like some sort of
just buy a bunch of Iron Maiden devices and have it there.
Have an Iron Maiden right behind you.
You know, Whang, I think that what you should do is should get a bunch of movie posters, get some overexposed lighting.
He's just describing his own setup right here.
And then what you got to do is also you got to get 3 doors in the background and a globe.
Yeah.
What Kino Corner has going on. Why do you have 3 doors, dude?
I have 3 doors because I have places to go. I have places to be. Actually, what it is like my studio where I shoot all my stuff doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I can't stream from there.
Okay.
Yeah, where I have all my like posters and my green screen set up and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have any Wi-Fi, so I can't stream from there. So I just have to stream from my room. Unfortunately, I would like to have like the Man Who Fell to Earth poster, you know, right next to me, and my signed copy, of The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou poster. My friend went golfing with Bill Murray, and he got a poster of Life Aquatic signed by Bill Murray for me. So
nice.
It's like one of my like prized possessions.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
I tried to look big on my screen to see what his posters are, and now he's just stuck loading.
It's Jaws, Doctor Who, Soy.
Yeah. So Taxi Driver, Goodfellas.
Wait, I'm gonna be back in a second.
Eraserhead, Repo Man. I don't know if you've seen that. Then I got the X-Files poster there. Doctor Who. My friend gave me that. I already said Jaws, and then I got the fucking Star Trek Geordie LaForge costume up there, hung up. But yeah, that's what I got.
I'm trying to make you like stuck on loading. It's just like I just see like the blue. Hope it's okay for the stream. They see you.
Do you still hear me?
I hear you, yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. So it's funny actually because it's a recurring thing. I think it's because it started off as people being genuinely confused, and now it's just a recurring thing where people see how my room is laid out, and it's like, well, like, dude, how do you like get out of your room? And it's like because you see, like, you know, you got one wall on the side, you got one wall behind me, you got a wall on the other side.
Yeah.
Then it's like, guys, a wall. You know that rooms have like 4 walls, and in front of me, there's another wall which contains a door.
It's amazing the context, like the simplistic context that you have to introduce for like the most basic things for people who are like confused online about what's going on in your situation. It's like, obviously, but then you have to introduce all this context that seems like it should be unnecessary.
Like, it should just be obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I made this like kind of like after John McAfee died. I made this video recently, and after I taught like, oh, this guy he probably raped people and he probably scammed people, or he scammed people and he probably murdered someone, and then afterwards I say, oh, but he lived an amazing life. So then I had so many people attribute me saying that he lived an amazing life to me saying that, oh, I think that rape is cool or something, and it's just like,
oh my god, like people will always figure out like the most uncharitable way to interpret the things you've said.
It's really it's so annoying. Yeah, I don't know. People online, I don't know if they're like, that's probably just like a troll, or are they that dumb? I don't know.
I mean, it's something that could be said as a troll, but then there's people who unironically think like that. So
yeah,
you kind of need context for the person to know what direction they're coming at you from.
I just don't even respond to people like that, because the thing about like responding as a YouTuber to like what comments that seem like they're in bad faith, or like maybe they're trolly or something like that, just responding doesn't help at all. Like I just ignore it, I mean,
sometimes you can get something funny out of it, but if you can't, then
sometimes you can. I did get something funny out of like this. I don't know, this guy on my Lighthouse video said something really stupid. I'll respond if it's like so fucking retarded that like I know I can get something really funny out of it. And so that does happen. And sometimes I'll make, my followers will also see the comments and make copy pastas out of these, and you'll see a lot of the same comments under a lot of my videos.
It's good when your following is like on the level enough to kind of like home on like, oh, this is a ridiculous thing, so like we can just all shit on it collectively.
Yeah, like when like something that someone said this about my maybe it was the Spree video actually. No, it was I'm Thinking of Ending Things video, and they said good video, movie looks gay though. And so like some of my followers will just like say that under all my videos.
Yeah, I mean that line feels like it was designed to become a fucking meme on someone's channel.
I mean, I mean that they're not wrong.
What I love about that type of meme though, like then it's like we'll have the people who've been around and know it, but then every video you put out, someone who will come who doesn't know that. So they'll see it and like start defending the movie.
Yeah, there's another one on my Ad Astra video where it was one of the first comments in my Ad Astra video, which recently popped off. Weirdly, I don't know how Ad Astra got into the algorithm, but whatever. And this person went and was like, basically there's a difference between having no taste and having taste, and it goes on this whole rant where they say absolutely nothing about Ad Astra. They're saying like people who have no taste but want to feign like they have taste say that they like bands like the Arcade Fire and Black Keys, but people who have real taste, who have real human interaction, and it's just like a whole paragraph, and at the very end it's like and then basically at the end it's like, and only people with no taste would say that Ad Astra is one of the best films of 2020. Well, since they say absolutely nothing about Ad Astra for an entire fucking paragraph and just the last sentence, you could literally just replace Ad Astra with any other movie and then just like change the date. So some of my followers did that, and they did that with Parasite when I made my Parasite video. Yeah. And so they put that on the Parasite thing, and I think I pinned it, and it still gets people just fucking angry to this day.
I gotta look right now. Let's see, like the way something like that is constructed, it almost feels like it might have been a copy pasta before that first one.
And I responded to that person. I said, "Is this a copy pasta?" Like that's the first thing that came to my head. I was like, "This feels like a copy pasta." Yeah. And they were like, "No, what's a copy pasta?" Maybe they were still trolling.
I mean, that is the response to someone asking you if the copy pasta you just posted is a copy pasta.
Yeah, exactly. And so I thought it was hilarious, and I was just like, "All right,
I got to see the shit show now. Like, where why can't I find your Parasite video? Did you change the thumbnail or something?
It's on my. This is why. If you go to my popular uploads, it's there.
All right, give me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back, real quick.
I'll read it out. Look, 94 replies. Oh my god. So it's.
I see. This is why it's one. This is why it won. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Our pastor. Yeah. There's a pastor in your chat right now. Oh yeah, there.
Oh yeah, pastor's in the chat. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Yeah. If you want to read it out so people can know the copy pasta.
Okay, all right, yeah. Very simply, one of the worst movies ever made. Anyone who pretends to have enjoyed watching this movie, and believe me, we both know you're pretending, is what is referred to as bad taste. There's a big difference between having no taste and having bad taste, the latter being a far worse crime. Someone with no taste might really love a band like Nickelback. This person doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground, but they couldn't care less. They're a moron. They know it. They don't know why or how. They know nothing about music. Nickelback is their band, and they go with it. Now, someone with bad taste is, for argument's sake, equally clueless. However, they've garnered from some type of social cues what it is someone with actual taste, a genuinely perceptive individual who has been exposed to and recognized beauty throughout their lifespan, first naturally and then artistically appreciates. Person with truly bad taste then tries to play the role of someone with actual taste, mimic a person with taste, and they end up listening to bands like The Arcade Fire and The Black Keys. Post YouTube comments about how Parasite was my favorite movie of 2019. Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
94 replies. Hell yeah.
Can you imagine the baggage that person brought while making that comment? Like, it's been stewing in their head for so long, and they're just like, I fucking hate these hipster assholes, and I'm gonna write this screed to take them down. And it's barely connected to the point of the video, but in their minds, it's all connected. It's just it's insane. It's insanity.
Oh, the funny thing is about that copy pasta. I mean, as unhinged as it would be had a person said it unironically, I will say it does describe a lot of the people I've known who are fans of the Arcade Fire.
So Ramadan Steve is in the chat, and from the Lighthouse copy pasta, somebody said try DMT and then rewatch the film, perhaps. Like, that was something from the Lighthouse.
Dude, I love when you can say so. Oh, was the person saying try DMT? Like, they were joking too, right?
No, they weren't. So
I was gonna say, when a person writes a long ass fucking screed like that, one of my favorite things to do is just reply to them with some kind of flippant comment like that, because that sets them the fuck off.
Oh man!
If they're coming expecting you to come at them with some kind of well thought out, detailed argument, just. I had that happen recently on fucking Twitter, and it was so much fucking fun. But I don't remember what the argument was.
It doesn't matter.
It was about bestiality. They're trying to have a whole intellectual argument about how you need to prove morally that it's wrong to fuck animals.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
I just replied, nah, man, just be normal. And he got, obviously on an intellectual level, I know that there's philosophical arguments you can make in that regard, but I don't feel like it. And I knew saying just be normal would piss this guy the fuck off. And he wound up spending his whole fucking day cataloging all the intellectual lightweights that he had to deal with because I said just be normal.
Oh, and all you do then is just say that and then mute him and just let him just shout into the void.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually love it. I don't read my comments that often because usually it's after a certain point after you uploaded, your comments just get either very redundant or just very stupid. It's just people schizo posting, and it's just all right.
There's definitely a sweet spot for comments. The ones you obviously the ones you get right when you post is just gonna be first or a joke or it's gonna be a meme or something that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. But once a
day later, Yeah.
Maybe I would say like a couple hours later is like the
Yeah.
sweet spot. I mean, it's probably different. Like it depends on the size of your channel too. Like the first
Yeah.
couple hours on mine is like the sweet spot to like find good comments, and
Yeah.
then as it like goes out through the algorithm,
It gets stupider and stupider.
Then you get the
like
craziest.
that's where you find like that's when all of a sudden the people like if someone who doesn't use YouTube, if you just say the phrase YouTube commenter, they have a certain kind of idea about a certain type of person.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person who shows up to your comment section after that sweet spot.
It's funny
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you can
exactly.
like you see a comment and you can just immediately tell this person's unhinged. Like you
Yeah.
just recognize it immediately that it's not, you're not talking to like a healthy person, or like, I mean, you're not reading a healthy, like, yeah, it's like it screams insanity.
I attract a lot of those people. I don't know how.
I feel like you invite it.
He does. With
Invite it. I mean, granted, not so much in your videos, but in your
his Twitter.
yeah, your interactions with people, I feel like invites it.
Although,
like,
you know,
the fucking Kino Sigma male bullshit, like he's like, and then like constantly like
People get so mad thinking that's real. That's real. Like you're walking around, you really believe you're the Kino, the Sigma. I think. Did you have your height and IQ in your fucking? At some point.
Yeah.
Did you do that? People used to get so mad at that.
Oh,
yeah, I know. That's why I did it. I saw how people got so mad at that. I was like, oh, it's gonna be funny if I do that too. So I said like height 6'2", which is true. I'm a tall guy, but then I was like IQ 190 or something like 187. It was I just like chose like some like number. It's like, yeah, that's more than Albert Einstein, you know.
Sucks to be him.
So
yeah, exactly.
I actually have a question for Whang here, like, because you have a huge platform on Twitter, especially, and it seems like when you're in that position, like, how much thought do you have to put into what you put out into the world? And like, obviously, like, you can post the most degenerate, like, fucked up shit, but like, if you engage with a certain argument and it escalates to a point where it's like this huge thread, that's not a good look. Like how much thought do you put into that, and also into like tweets that you make, or like, you know, putting your opinions out into the world? Like, what's like the block there?
Honestly, for the most part, I kind of use Twitter the same as I did when I had like a couple thousand followers. Back when my like account was like fucking tiny or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really have the inclination to get into like these big arguments with people about things that matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It's like I just don't have that impulse to like really get in like the fucking trenches with people on Twitter over these things.
It doesn't matter. Like, because you're not an argument.
Like you're just you're not convincing anybody of anything when you get in these arguments. You're not enjoying yourself. You're not fucking changing the world or anything. So it's totally like you're literally. I mean, some people enjoy it, I guess. So that's what they're getting out of it. I don't enjoy it, so it's this isn't how I'm going to spend my time. One thing, what does happen though, like every once in a while, there'll be like something that's like, oh man, like my hand is like hovering over the retweet button, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Usually, most of the time, I press it anyway. Every once in a while, that's just like it winds up in the group chats and never any further.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's rare that I see something that is spicy enough that I won't share it though.
So you're, I guess, like from what I'm getting, like if your tweets have been the same since you had 1,000 followers, you're not a confrontational person.
Not really. It's very rare that something prompts that reaction from me.
I think it's better. I think it's better for some of these more controversial issues or like talking about it to not also air it publicly. Like, you know, I think that for as maybe shit posty as I am, I'm also pretty non-controversial. Shit posting about movies, I don't think is a very controversial thing. Mm-hmm. But like getting into politics and stuff, that's something I'll talk about with people on like a person to person level. And that's not something I'll talk about publicly. I won't make any sort of like public political statements or anything like that, because also that's just not part of like what I do. It's just not. It's
like, people aren't like following you for fucking what your opinion on this or that fucking news story is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, they like my taste in movies, or they think maybe it's all about movies, and I'm just like, all right, I'll shit post, about some things, and I'll talk about movies, and that I'm just going to limit it to that. I'm not going to get into this gay politics stuff that no one cares about.
Yeah. I've been moving more and more away from like, although I do have that niche because I am sort of confrontational. I do like, having that like
every once in a while you'll get into it with somebody.
I do.
Yeah, no, you had that one guy, I forgot his fucking name, that came up with the frog situation.
Oh, the Miles Power thing.
Miles Power, yeah.
You got into. That's probably the most I've seen you like go into a back and forth with somebody.
I know that's been going on for a year or two. It's been nonstop. Like, well, not nonstop, but like it springs up every once in a while, and apparently he's gonna make like a reaction video to me, but no, I was really passionate about that subject, and like I thought like the way that like they kind of maligned the scientists behind that, the company, Syngenta. I thought that like it was so clear that it was there was an injustice there, and like I was so obsessed with that subject. So then when I posted that video, my immediate reaction to Miles Power was like, "Oh, well, you just pretty much posted like the hate video about this guy that like leaves out so much context, and well, I hate you." That's like how I felt. Like I was like, I really didn't like the guy. Like I remember watching his videos about the subject and just getting angry. But like I'm looking forward to what like his reaction. But it's almost been a year. So
yeah, I'm curious as to how it's gonna be.
I'm gonna start reading some of the super chats.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start at the top, and there's a question for you, Whang. Whang, is it true you're gonna kickbox Justin Kim? If so, have you prepared your body?
I don't know who Justin Kim is, but my legs are fucking huge. So I mean,
same here. I have stocky legs.
I don't know how it's going to translate into kicking power. Probably not that well because a lot of it comes from your hips.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe we should kickbox each other at VidCon.
You definely have a massive reach advantage, but I probably have a huge strength advantage. So we'll see.
Are you going to VidCon?
All right. So I'm going to be on tour in October, but I have a Pomona and a Los Angeles date that coincides with VidCon. So I'm going to attempt to make it down, at the very least, like make it to like some parties in that time frame.
Okay, sick. Yeah.
You should.
Oki, are you going? You're going, right?
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I think me, Kino, Slush, Glink, Ghost Gun, and who else?
And Tech.
And Technicals we're gonna get like
like
an Airbnb together. But if I do see you, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug because like you did save my channel.
I had like a few people ask about that. It's like it's weird because like I don't necessarily know that I saved your channel. I definitely like helped get the like signal boost it. There is a chance it might have just worked its way through the process and came out in your favor, but
I think because like at the time
I did save your channel. I'm thankful for it.
So when I had my Twitter account, like I think I had 100 followers or something, and you were like the only YouTuber who followed me, and like you signal boosted it like crazy, but you continued to do it. Like you didn't do like one tweet, you did like fucking like I feel like it was like 5 or 6 tweets, and that's the only reason like we say because I got 3 strikes, and it would have been taken down. I think unless you got involved, I had 16,000 subscribers on YouTube. My whole shit would have been done without you. So eternally grateful.
I'm glad it's not.
Thank you, Justin Whang. Gotta give you the biggest hug if I see you. I don't know if you're a hugging guy, but I'm gonna force it on you anyway.
We out.
I think you were.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
No, I remember when that happened too. Because like what I tend to do if I find a new YouTuber through the algorithm that's just like on my homepage or something, the first thing I'll do after is like see if they have a Twitter account. So I saw that you had one. I just followed you, I found you through the Dan Ninen video, and then maybe hours after I found it, you like Dan Ninen was attacking your channel.
Yeah, I DM'd you like immediately. I was like, okay, you could probably help me, and you did. Like, I mean, yeah. So yeah, it was. I mean, it was awesome. Like, yeah, and then also Memology helped me. Memology made a video about the situation. But it was like it was mostly you who like, because like no one else would have paid attention. That's the issue with like a lot of smaller YouTube channels, unless you have someone generous enough to help you in that situation. It could just like it could be completely swept under the rug, and no one will even see that you lost your channel for some bullshit reason because some narcissistic comedian didn't like the fact that like you covered shit. It's like literally all of this shit was online already. So
it's literally all online. It's all public, all done in a fair use way.
Yeah. So
yeah. I just want to say that Whang is one of the nicest guys on YouTube. I probably wouldn't even be where I am without Whang. So I also a lot to you.
I remember I met you at Big.
You're one of the very first YouTubers I ever met, because how I came to VidCon, I think the only YouTuber I knew before then was, of course, I'm BG Cumby and I don't live that far from each other. But I had only known Internet Historian before then. I was helping him with some of the Sundance Reject stuff. And I didn't know anybody. I didn't even watch YouTube at that time. So it was really weird being at VidCon and like having big YouTubers come up to me and like introduce themselves. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I think it was Odd Ones Out. It was like, oh yeah, I'm the Odd Ones Out. I'm just like, okay, is that like a YouTube channel?
I'm actually, wait, were you there with us on the convention floor when we met him? Or...
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny actually, because like he kind of like the convention staff, because like he had big panels and shit, that was his year. Like his merch was everywhere, his signage was everywhere.
Yeah, and he was wearing all sorts of weird shit like to cover himself up.
Yeah, because he was like, they would not allow him to walk around the floor like as like visibly, because it would create a disturbance. So he's like, yo, I'm over here, I'm like wearing this mask, and we went to go say what's up to him. Yeah,
and so he was talking to me, but he was talking to me that night at the party, because he came over to the party.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay. So are you a YouTuber or something? And then it was, I don't know anything about, like,
Kino doesn't watch YouTube very much.
I still don't really watch much YouTube, so people, like, will say things. I know most YouTubers just through Twitter. I see their Twitter. I follow them on Twitter, but I don't watch their videos. I watch your videos and I watch Oki's videos, but I watch my friends' videos. But it was weird. You were like probably the first YouTuber I met, other than like like in real life, other than like BG Cumby, because we went to the apartment, and then I think it was Mystic, right? She picked you up from the airport or something, and brought you in.
Like her and Vega was there, and like You didn't stay at the apartment with us, right?
No, remember, I stayed at a house not too far away, but I was pretty much at the apartment like from the
you were there morning. All the time.
Yeah.
Like it was like me, Wavy Webster, and BG Cumby,
and Willie Mack,
and Wavy's boy Slim. Oh yeah, Willie Mack.
Slim. Yeah,
we like split an Airbnb. But then,
Slim's hilarious. Slim is hilarious, man.
Slim.
You know what's funny is like I remember watching the BG Cumby video like with like Whang in the background. I didn't know
the dark side of VidCon.
I didn't know who Kino Corner was at that time. So
I wasn't
like a year before.
I had like 5 subs.
Yeah,
I didn't even like tell people about my channel at VidCon. I was just like, yeah, I'm just Peter. I think I wrote it on my thing. I'm like, yeah, I have like 5 videos or something like that. I'm like, but I'm not really a YouTuber. It wasn't until after that, actually, the person who convinced me at VidCon to get back into making YouTube videos was a Reactor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah.
He convinced me to get back into making YouTube videos, and because I was dealing with a lot of like copyright stuff, because doing movie review stuff, it's like, if you don't know the unwritten rules, like you're just going to get fucked by these big companies.
It sucks too, because it's like, legally you have the right to cover these movies as long as you're doing commentary, you're not like redistributing the movie. You have the right to do that, but do you really want to wait a month until it gets like it goes through the process and shit?
Yeah,
every time you upload a video.
And I want to say after Reactor, he kind of sat me down one of the nights and he was like, look, just do this, this, and this, and you won't have any problems. And I've had almost no problems. I had a problem with my Truman Show video and I had a problem with my Lighthouse video, but like months after I had them up, and it was obvious that it was someone in some sort of like content farm, you know, like these like farms where they have
Like those Juke and
18-year-olds.
Media type bullshit fucking things.
Yeah, what's funny is that in both cases, they just like pick a random like minute out of the video. It's just like a random minute out of the video, and I'm like, why did you pick this minute out? And in both cases, there was content in that minute that they did not own.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, I'm like, do you know that you're claiming something? Like in the case of Truman Show, which I think is a Paramount thing, I had some references to like American Graffiti in there and some other films I was like comparing it to, right? And they claimed that. And I was like, do you understand that you're claiming content that you don't own? Like, I don't think that that's very legal. But thankfully, the person who really helped me on that, and I'm gonna stand by him on this. It was John Swan. You know, he really did help me out on that. I think that anyone who's a content creator should at least have access. He made like a Google Drive doc.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah, super helpful.
Someone's made a lot of docs that are very helpful. Like my audio, he made like a quick and dirty Audacity audio guide.
Yeah.
Since I started using John Swan's, I think all this shit got deleted at a certain point. So like that, he probably still has the documents, but like the tweet to the document is gone.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been using to kind of like dial in my audio settings since he made that.
Yeah, John Swan, he's like only like 19, and I mean he's a smart kid. Not only that, like I mean, it's like he's seriously impressive. I also don't think that he did much wrong, to be honest.
I mean, he fucked up. Like when you fuck up on that scale and you sit by as your friends like tell what they think is the truth and like defend, like kind of fall on the sword for you while you know that you lied to them and they're operating on a lie because they trust you. Like that is.
Although I will say this in his defense. I will say this in his defense, right? I am so glad that I was not online when I was his age, because I would have done so much stupid shit.
Exactly.
I was such a shithead when I was 19.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? For us, because we're all a little bit older, you know, we're older, I think, than most YouTubers. And
for sure.
And it's just like, it's just teenagers being. It's stuff that I think is easily forgivable, but I don't really want this to be a drama stream.
I don't think it's the end for him, but he definitely has a long way to like regain people's trust.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he just has a little bit of growing up to do, but he's been so helpful in a lot of areas. So Baron, do you know Baron Julius von Brunk, Whang?
Oh hell yeah! I've gotten drinks with him before.
Yeah, cool guy. So he says, Kino and Whang, top 10 anime crossovers. And then Robel, who did the art for this stream, you should go follow her on Twitter. Yeah, she's my Filipino sweatshop artist. She also does. She has
swag.
She also does the art for Mumkey Jones.
She's good.
And she said, favorite Adam Sandler movie except for Uncut Gems. This is a question for you.
Is Billy Madison? That's the one with Sonya Blade in it, right? With what's her fucking name? Chick that played Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat. I think that's Billy Madison. Whichever one she's in is the one I like.
Billy Madison.
Actually, it's the one with Nudie Magazine Day.
I think that's Billy Madison, right?
Yeah, it's one of the funniest Adam Sandler movies, I think. Billy Madison.
Where he gives the whole
that one
about the puppy that was lost or something and it's like the guy goes on this whole rant about how like everyone here is stupider for hearing you talk, and he goes, you could have just said wrong. I thought that movie was actually funny. I actually think Adam Sandler movies, I find a lot of them funny. I'm gonna be honest. I'll put them on in the background when I'm editing. I have no pretensions about the kind of films that I watch just as many stupid films as I do like artsy films. Plumpy says, "Happy birthday, Oki, looking like my PFP. Lose weight."
I gotta say, this guy sent me this Plumpy guy sent me a message on Reddit one time, and I gotta bring it up real quick here because it was one of the funniest messages I've ever gotten. Like on YouTube, on Twitter, there's no comparison. So he sends me big fan Oki, and then he says, "Hold on." Oh, fuck.
This is one of the best. This is actually hilarious.
So, this is the only way I can DM you, but after watching the Kinokast, wallahi, you're a cool-ass nigga, bro. May Allah grant your Blasian kids that look like human-like as possible, inshallah. This is not a diss to your appearance. The Somali people are God's chosen people. I'm just goofing on Asians. Keep being a solid-ass nigga, bro. It's the most ridiculous, like, I don't know. I don't even know if he's Somali, but like, he added the wallahi in, he added the inshallah in, and he's like, Asians are pretty much mutants, is what he's saying. But, Somalis are God's chosen people. So, but, so I'll take that chirp from Plumpy, who's a ridiculous human being.
So Baron, Julius von Brunk, also with $5. Thank you very much, Baron. And thank you, Plumpy, for the $10. And thank you, Baron, for the other $2, Rebel for the 50 pesos, and World Book Official for the $10. And let me go. Baron also says, if people with pronouns and disabilities listed in their Twitter bios don't hate you, you're not doing it right. Yeah, I feel like people who like generally... Me. Yeah, I feel like people who like try to like put their entire like list off everything about them in their Twitter, there's some kind of problem with them. Like, it's not just pronouns in bio or something like that, but it's people who are like, I'm going to categorize myself.
Yeah, like all the categories they fall in, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
like whether it be like a political thing, a fandom thing. It's another one, like the fandoms, like a list of every fandom they're a part of.
It screams of someone who is completely unsure of themselves, and they don't know who they are, so they have to like base their whole personality off of like some hot political take or some fandom that they're part of, and it just screams as like, oh, you haven't found yourself at all.
But the funny thing is, it's so easy to fuck with these people, and Whang, you actually retweeted, maybe it was a year ago or something like that, and I made this tweet just to fuck with the Star Wars fandom. And I was like, my favorite Star Wars films, I was like, number 1, Empire Strikes Back, number 2, A New Hope. I was like, don't care about the rest, they're all shit. And then you like retweeted that, and I got so much hate.
That's those are my unironic feelings about the fucking series.
Yeah, me too. Like, that's my unironic feeling.
I mean, Empire, great movie. New Hope, great movie.
Pretty good.
Not as good as Empire, but it's good.
Yeah.
The others are kind of like,
look,
I don't hate them. I don't hate them, but they're not something I'd ever watch in a million years watch again.
They're just okay. Like, okay. Yeah. It's like, all right, I watched it. It's 2 hours.
I think Indiana Jones is way better.
Well, it is better. But as far as trilogies goes, I mean, come on, can you beat Lord of the Rings? No. Like, you can't. Like, Lord of the Rings is great. But with Star Wars, I don't know why people are so like religiously attached to Star Wars. And like, you realize that at the end of Empire, for as much as I think Empire is a great movie, you realize that the reason that they didn't really kill Han Solo is because they wanted to sell Han Solo action figures.
Yeah.
And just for me, I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to put that much artistic stock in a film franchise that chooses what it does based on how many toys they're going to sell because of certain decisions in the movie. I'm sorry. It's just, that's not a good way to make films. It's a toy commercial. Return of the Jedi is a giant toy commercial. Like, that's all it is.
I'm really happy that kind of like, like the nerd fandom kind of like craze that happened, especially after like the Big Bang Theory is starting to die. Like the shit that you would see on Reddit, where like every fucking post was like, it was some sort of Star Wars post with like Han Solo or Luke Skywalker and like behind the scenes photo, and just like this kind of weird adulation where you would see these people in line to see these movies and just like praying, like legitimately praying and crying about this shit. Like they would watch the trailers,
so weird,
and then they would
it's
be
so
crying,
weird.
and it's just like I'm so happy that kind of like weird capitalist, ugly, twisted kind of disgusting thing is dying.
Yeah, same here. Like I just always found it weird. I'm like, you're gonna but I talked about this actually in my video on the Truman Show, because I think a movie that really does talk about a lot of this is the Truman Show, where it's like people who just don't really have much of an identity themselves, and they really don't have much of a personality, just attach themselves to something that they consume.
Yeah.
And then they make that whatever they consume their personality. It's like, you're so boring. You have no sort of cultural background. You have no sort of life of your own, that you just say Star Wars is my personality. And so if you go or whatever show, Rick and Morty, I mean, it's you could say this about really kind of any kind of franchise.
But also
like
imagine attaching your whole personality to the most popular franchise on Earth.
It's like,
it's
it's like you're not exactly distinguishing yourself there.
A $1 billion company is going to choose what I believe. It's like, okay, dude, like you're very individualistic right there. You're very unique, but it's because like they don't have like this kind of like postmodern world, where a lot of stuff has been like broken down and people don't have any kind of roots to go on, any kind of culture to go on. They just like attach themselves. And that's why when you criticize like a film that's maybe in Star Wars or in Marvel or something like that, they take it very personally with, it's like, that's not a normal reaction. Like, I know I like a lot of movies that tons of people hate, and I'm just like,
I'm here
to say, you hate it.
I'm here to say quickly that Star Wars can suck a dick.
Even Empire?
Even Empire? All of it can suck a fucking dick. Even if it's enjoyable, suck a dick. All right?
I just, it's just like, all right, so somebody doesn't have the same taste as you in movies. Like, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Like, you like it.
That was like something I wanted to, like, when you were talking about like not getting too deep into like political stuff or whatever on Twitter because of the backlash you might get.
Yeah.
Posts like that Star Wars post that you made.
Yeah.
I've seen shit like that get way hotter than any political controversy or any shit like that on Twitter. Like that is the shit that's the shit that'll make you the main character for a day half the time.
Yeah.
Consume.
You gotta consume. To bring back the dead meme at this point, but it's like, don't ask questions, just consume and buy next product. The Red Letter Media, they're really on point with that.
Yeah, Rich Evans, like that's the funniest satire. Him just like jerking off with like the fucking Star Wars toy, like that is clearly that's what they're going for. It's just like a satirical take on this kind of like consumerist culture and like these unapologetic Star Wars fans.
So Ramadan Steve has $5 and he says, ask Whang when he thinks Crabcore will come back.
Dude, actually thinking about Crabcore, I don't know if you guys know what Crabcore is.
No.
It was this moment in metalcore where you had Attack Attack is kind of, there were a few bands, but Attack Attack is like the Crabcore band. They're the ones who kind of made it a meme, and it's basically based on this pose that some metalcore guitarists of this time period would do, where they're holding the guitar in the middle and doing like these deep squats on stage, and someone commented that they look like a crab doing that. So people started using the word crabcore. But I saw a fucking TikTok about crabcore recently, and I was like, holy shit! I feel like we're almost reaching the point where we're gonna be back in the cycle where that phase of metalcore will come to us again. So
you should do that. You should do that with Jinx. You should just make Jinx like a crabcore band.
Dude.
Like just
Man, do it, yeah.
when you're shredding, you play bass, right?
I play guitar.
Oh, you play guitar. So when you get down on guitar, just like do the crab squat. You can bring it back yourself.
Fucking at this point, my knees will explode if I do the crab squat.
By the way, are you standing right now?
I have this thing over here. It's
Oh, I see. It's like an ergonomic.
It's like one of those, like one of those, like it's supposed to be better for you than sitting or standing all the time.
Yeah.
Half the time I don't use it, but when I'm using it right now, it's a lot better for your posture. But sometimes because it's just like a stool that I gotta like pick up and like set up a little bit. I don't use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you do use it, it's supposed to be the best thing for your body to be doing if you're gonna be sedentary for a long period of time.
Dude, I went to this girl's house and she had like her apartment. She had like 2 of those. Like tried to bring people over, and it's like the only other place to sit is like on her bed or like these 2 fucking ergonomic chairs. And like no one's acclimated to them, so it's just like this, like just an awkward situation where it's like I'm trying to sit on this fucking thing. Like
I will say this.
That's like
Wang.
That's what.
Wait,
that's one of those things for like when you're working. It's not a thing for hanging out.
Yeah.
That's gotta use this ergonomic chair I have for office work.
Yeah, exactly.
While we hang out. Like, no.
She had nothing else to sit on. It was like it was just a fucking like it was like, dude, fuck. Come on.
And women complain about men's apartments being like one chair and a TV. It's like no, but what I was gonna say, Wang, is speaking of that, I saw a band called Franz Ferdinand live several years ago.
Oh yeah.
And Alex Kapranos, he plays the guitar and sings. Dude, he was doing fucking splits in the air while playing. The dude is I was like, holy shit. When I was watching, I'm like, this guy is crazy. It was a great concert. I love that band. And he was just like jumping and doing like air splits perfectly, just like like this. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, I could never do that.
Cool, like fucking like running, jumping, spin kicks and shit I could fucking do playing. I don't know if I haven't been able to play on like a really nicely sized. I mean, I haven't been able to play on any stage for a fucking year, so we'll see
that's true. Yeah, maybe we should go up and see you play at VidCon.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
let's do it.
Yeah, a few people said they might try to. I think Link said he might try to like drive up for one of the days.
Well, if Clink is driving up, we're staying at his Airbnb, so we might as well just like
you might have to. Yeah. I was telling him too. I would try to like guest list you guys, but LA, I probably won't have any spots.
I gotta also say, Glink designated you as YouTube or the internet's daddies, or
internet. Use that specific word, not father, but daddy.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. He made a video. He made a video.
Oh, wait, that was that video about the father and older brother parasocial relationship.
Oh yeah, and you like,
I think he classified me as the older brother category.
You were the older brother, huh?
Yeah, wait, that was the category.
Wang, did you see his video on Zoom like ruined a generation of like education or whatever?
Didn't watch that yet.
If you watch that, my mom is in it.
Yeah, his mom.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom is in it.
Did he know it was your mom when he did it, or
no? So he interviewed my mom for it. He interviewed my mom in it, and he put up a whole video saying like interview with Dr. Mahaffey. My mom. So I couldn't really get through the video because I was like, I can't watch it's like I've sort of gotten used to watching myself on video. Like it's still really hard for me, but my family, it's like really difficult, to watch on video. I'm just like, it's almost hard for me.
I think Wang's question too was like, you did hook him up with like
I did. Like Glink didn't know. Glink didn't know my mom, but he just asked me if I knew anybody who like worked with, kids who had like things, or like were going through mental crises because of Zoom education. I'm like, well, my mom's a pediatrician and I worked at her clinic at the time. And I was like, yeah, we have so many of these people. Like my mom can just tell you anything that you need to know. So he interviewed her, and I thought that it was just for like just kind of getting research or whatever. But I guess he recorded it, and it's on his channel.
See, like at first, what I thought he meant is like he just happened coincidentally because she was like such a renowned expert in the field. And then I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, he just like happened to run him into my mom for some reason.
Actually, I commented on the podcast, like he released it on his second channel, and I'm like, Kino's mom, ! And then someone's like, oh yeah, no, she's I'm a client of hers. Like just some random dude like found it, and it's like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, that's Kino's mom.
Yeah,
it's strange.
Here, let's move on. Let's move on to. I think we only have a couple more questions left, so
yeah, let's wrap it up.
So Tom Bombadil says, "Hey Kino, will Florian continue being on Is It Kino?" I don't know. I actually don't know. Mumkey had me. He kind of hit me up about that buck breaking review, like very last minute. Like he was like, "Hey, Kino, are you ready to do the buck breaking review?" And I was like, "Are we doing a review of it? Like, are we doing an Is It Kino of it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just watched it." He didn't tell me anything about it, and I was like, "Okay, well, give me a few hours. Like, I'm not ready right now." And he introduced me as a co-host, so. I don't think there's anything between Mumkey and Florian, but I honestly just don't know. I'm not like in the know on that kind of stuff. I get brought on, and I just shit talk or shit post, like on his Is It Kino podcast, and that's about the extent that I know. So I don't really know. Nutticus, a good friend of the channel, says, "Whang, do you believe God Emperor?"
Discourse. Yeah, Whang. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Whang, do you believe God Emperor McAfee really offed himself, or is he partying on Chadman Island with Tupac and Epstein?
You could definitely see him like being alive still.
Yeah,
definitely. Actually, so when was he in prison?
He was in prison. He almost like 270 days in Spanish prison. Yeah. He was arrested because he evaded taxes, and also because he did these pump and dump schemes, like for like cryptocurrency pump and dump schemes. So then he went on the run, and then he went from. Okay, hold on. So it started. I think he went to Jamaica. I'm probably wrong about that, but then eventually like Cuba, the Dominican Republic. Eventually, he went to Lithuania, and that was like over the course of like 2 years, and then eventually ended up in Spain. And when he tried to leave Spain, he was arrested, and then that's when he started spending time in prison. And then if you followed his account, you would have noticed that like a lot of the stuff that he was posting from prison, because like, I mean, he's not necessarily rich anymore. Like he lost almost all of his money. And that's why he was doing these pump and dump schemes. But he was rich enough, I guess, like if you're in prison, you can get a burner phone. So that's what he did. And he was like posting every once in a while. But
well, it's strange to me. A couple weeks ago, he had actually, so I followed him for a while.
Yeah.
It's a couple weeks ago, he had sent me a message. "Thanks for the follow, Justin." And I'm like wondering if other people have access to his account, or that was.
So his wife does.
His wife does.
Yeah. Janice McAfee, the hooker, she's like literally a prostitute, that he met after he was extradited from Guatemala. So he met her in like 2012. So she has like access to his account, and I think that like there's other people as well, like the QAnon like post that was posted onto his Instagram. That's not him, obviously. Like he was dead after that was posted.
I mean, I could see him being the type of guy too to have plans. I could see him being the type of guy to actually kill himself, to have a few things set in place to happen to just troll the fucking world with his death.
He loved attention, and he is someone who will constantly like act like he's way more important than he is, but he's not, right? He's just like, he's like this dwindling
No, he's the
buffoon.
best. He's the best.
He's a dwindling buffoon, and he was. I mean, what's happened now is like he's dead. He doesn't have any dead man switch. He doesn't have any info that he's gonna leak. He just he liked to play into the idea that the CIA was constantly after him, that people in power were constantly after him, and it's not true. He's LARPing. He's been LARPing for so many years. He's full of shit, or he was. And yeah, that's my opinion about McAfee. He loves the attention. He's a LARPer. And he's full of shit.
What's so funny is that to think about it, I was kind of so sold on it that I hadn't even considered that possibility. The whole fucking thing was a LARP.
Yeah, I mean,
usually that's the first thing I think of, but I guess you know what it is. Him being John McAfee kind of gave him that credibility to me where I didn't even consider that.
But you gotta understand, like he hasn't had anything to do with the antivirus software since 1995, basically. Like, I mean, he sold it off, and he didn't even get like the lion's share of like the profits from it. Like, he sold it off early on, and he got like $100 million, and he spent it all, and that's why the IRS and the SEC has been after him, is because he was doing the pump and dump schemes, because he needed the money. He's not like an extremely wealthy, well-connected person. He hasn't been that for a long time. I mean, you're talking about a guy who, like, he tweeted about fucking whales, right? Like, he's a liability more so than anything. He's a goof.
Like that tweet is legendary, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, also
whales can consent. That's what he was saying.
He's a total goof, right? Like, why would anybody give him information? Oh, he managed to like take information from people. I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think that he just liked to play into people's ideas about who he might be, and he did that constantly. I mean, the guy was like, "Oh, the police commissioner in the Bahamas is after me. The CIA is after me. Raul Castro in Cuba is after me." Like, he constantly talked about all of these people who were after him, who weren't after him. Like, he's full of shit, and
he's a shit poster.
Yeah,
he's a shit poster.
He was a great shit poster. Yeah. He was an amazing shit poster.
I mean, and that's why we should make a golden statue to him in the middle of New York City, I think.
I would agree with that. I think he does.
Yeah, John. Yeah.
I feel like the McAfee statue, it should have its own little like boat and just float around international water.
Yeah. No,
like
it should
random
be
encounter.
No. It won't be a
Doom
boat.
Gaze in Final Fantasy VI.
It'll be a giant golden whale. And it'll be John McAfee with that. I'm not too familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but the JoJo character they had in his Twitter profile picture, it'll be him with him on top of the whale, just kind of floating around international waters. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there's just a couple more questions left for Whang, and then we'll wrap things up. So one of the original supporters of my channel, Kim Jong-un, says Whang Daddy.
Let's ask Glenn.
So Kim Jong-un calls you Daddy. Just so you know, you can put that on your. And then Ivan Chesnabriki says, ask what's on his pedal board.
Okay, so I don't. Previously, what I was using for shows was a noise suppressor and Line 6 Ricochet. That was it, I believe. However, for the upcoming tour, I'm going to be getting a Helix, and I don't like to deal with a lot of bullshit when I fucking set up. So I'm just gonna have my guitar player set up some patches for me for what we need, and then I'll just have that tone.
So just one. We
did use the Kemper on the recordings.
So just one last question for me. This is a question I ask everyone who comes on the Kinokast. And Whang, have you seen a movie called Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom?
Of course I've seen that movie.
I actually sent you a copy of it.
Yeah.
It was funny. I put up this like poll and I was like, who should I send? I had an extra copy of Sallow and I was like, who should I send a copy of Sallow to? And I had you, Emp Lemon, Rusty, and I think somebody else. I knew that if I sent it to Emp, like he just wouldn't watch it. He'd be like, it's this poop movie. It's not The Simpsons, you know?
That's a pretty good Emp impression.
and then Rusty probably would, but I was like,
I'd be surprised if Rusty hadn't seen it already.
I don't think Rusty has. I asked him, although I'm going to bring it this weekend. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to make it. So I've already
watch it.
I've already sort of, Eggy's going to be there, and Eggy actually told me he wanted to watch it.
I'm surprised Eggy hasn't seen it.
I know, I know, right? I'm going to make a TikTok where I'm just going to have like my my thing. I'm going to have Sallow like in the foreground, walking to all these YouTubers in the party going like, hey, do you want to watch Sallow? Like,
yo, that's a good TikTok.
Yeah. It's just going to like everyone in the party going like, do you want to watch Sallow? And just having it like right in the foreground there.
Bro, like the first time I saw Sallow, actually, it was on a date with this girl. And we were like, she was like this kind of like this artsy chick that I used to like to watch weird movies with. So I was like, I heard this movie's pretty weird. And do not recommend watching the movie that way. I mean, she enjoyed the movie, but it's not conducive to the vibe you want in those situations.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you have a scatological fetish, and she does too.
Well,
and then let's go with that.
The whole ending sequence of it is like they pop out this kid's eye with like a knife, and they're like burning this guy's dick with a candle, and like just it's just like the most sort of like disgusting sort of physical torture that's going on. And if you're with a girl, you're just like say you're with a girl, you watch Sallow, and then you come on to her like you're in the mood now. This is not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just not.
Hey girl, do you like poop?
Yeah. You're like, you know what I would do is I'd be like, actually, I know the recipe for how to make the shit that they have in Sallow. It's pretty easy. I can make it in 5 minutes right now if you want to try it out.
You should have it pre-made, and then as soon as the movie's done, don't even tell her you have it. Just come out with it on a fucking plate.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking of doing that too for this party. Because it takes, I'm serious, it takes 5 minutes to make the poop from Sallow. You just get some of the baking chocolate, you melt it down, you put some crumbs of like those biscuits, like British biscuits, in it. You put some a little bit of condensed milk in it. You put a little bit of orange marmalade in it. Then you form it. It takes 5 minutes to make it. I was thinking of like, maybe I should like make it and send it to people in like those like bakery, like the bakeries will have those like nice little like boxes
with a nice string and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And send it to people in that and just
you could be like Ted Kaczynski, but you're sending
them poop. Yeah, I'm sending them poop.
Sallow bomber.
Yeah, the Sallow bomber. That's nice. That'll be it's very based and Kaczynski pilled. But I think that's it for a lot of the questions. And yeah, is there anything you want to like promote? I know you're going on tour this year.
Yeah, going on tour in October. Tickets are on sale now. The band is Jinx, and we're on tour. We're going to be on tour with Attila. Aside from that, I guess as soon as we're done here, I'm going to continue editing my video about Riccio. So look out for that.
Hell yeah, dude! I can't wait.
Yeah, awesome. And Whang, it's been a great time having you on. Of course, you can come on anytime. Like, obviously, you're one of the coolest guys that we know. So, talk about weird shit with you for as long as we want. But I know we know that you have a lot of work to get to. So we'll continue the stream after Whang leaves. Just if you. Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for being who you are. I think that there's a lot of YouTubers who are indebted to you. A lot of people, just like in general online, like based off of like your own like noble pursuits and just being like a genuine good guy, who are indebted to you and thankful to you, and think that you're fucking awesome. And I do think you're fucking awesome. So thanks for being you. Thanks for joining.
I'm gonna do one last thing before. right? Because
Okay.
I want to shout out one of our mutual friends, and I don't know, Whang. I don't know if you watch him, but I think you should watch his channel. Is Ghost Gum.
Ghost Gum's awesome. Ghost
Gum is awesome. I think
and
you would really.
boy. Yeah.
I think you would really
familiar to me.
Yeah, I think you would really love his videos. I discovered him because he subbed to me, and then his channel kind of blew up. He got like 70,000 subscribers or something, like pretty much over the course of 2 weeks. And he makes really good videos, and I think you would really like his stuff.
He just hit.
No, it's pretty good. The Tumblr Exodus.
Yeah, that was a really good video. That's a really good video.
he just hit his first 1 million view video. Me and Slush hung out with him at my house just like a month ago. It was like, it's pretty fun.
You should check him out.
I actually, Ghost Gum's like a really chill guy. So shout out to Ghost Gum.
He's awesome.
This looks pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to him. His videos are kind of like early internet historian type videos, so definitely shout out to him. But I like shilling my friends. That's what YouTube is. It's just a bunch of guys just making shit post videos in their bedrooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, Whang, thanks you so much for coming on, and we'll have you on anytime. Any other time you want to come on, or just want to hang out or anything like that. And I'll actually be up in DC for the next several months. And so I'm like a 2-hour train ride from New York. So if you ever
if you
want
come
to hang out,
to the city, fucking let me know. We'll do some shit. I mean, this summer in New York City is gonna be absolute fucking chaos. It's already beginning. So being in DC, like I think where I'm living is like 5 minutes away from like an Amtrak, so I can go up to New York just on the weekends for anything. So I'll hit you up if I decide to go up. Yeah, awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the Kinokast. The Kinokast, best podcast on planet Earth, best movie podcast especially.
Yeah.
Guys.
Liquid Sky was pretty good, by the way.
Liquid Sky, yeah. Would you recommend Liquid Sky?
I would recommend Liquid Sky.
I guess we should talk about
I definitely recommend that movie. I mean, as soon as I fucking finished watching it, I hit you up about it. I was like, yo.
Yeah. It's a really interesting film, and I think you can get a Blu-ray now. There's a new restoration of it. The cinematography of it is actually quite beautiful. I have to say, it's a very beautiful film. It's weird. There are some bad actors in it and stuff, but it kind of adds to that like vibe that it's going for. And it's actually my second time.
The bad actors.
Yeah, actually,
that makes it more of a gem. I feel like just
the second time. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
The second time watching it, I enjoyed it a lot more, and it was funny that like it was super entertaining, especially after I knew everything that happened. And I knew where it was going and everything, and I was able to just really enjoy everything about it. And I thought it was a super entertaining film with really great lines. It's like these lines that kind of come out of nowhere and hit you. And you're just like, what? Okay, I guess I said that. It's great. But yeah, Whang, hopefully you'll come on the podcast again.
Hopefully I see you guys before then.
Yeah, hopefully you do. Yeah, I'll hit you up maybe in a couple months.
Yeah, we'll be at VidCon from Thursday, I think, till Monday.
Till the Monday.
Okay, yeah. So my dates that I'm going to be in the area are Saturday and Sunday. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
that'd be fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go up and see you. I'll see if we can get tickets, and we'll go up and see you guys.
Yeah.
Sick.
Awesome,
guys,
dude.
It's been good.
All right. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bye-bye. All right. That was good, right?
That was good.
Right,
yeah.
Let me stop the stream. Or no.
Wait. Let's keep going on. Let's do like another.
All right.
Like
I'm gonna take like a piss real quick. All right.
Yeah. I'll just talk to the.
All right. Talk to people. Read super chats. I don't know.
Yeah.
Read the chat.
Whang getting ghost gum pilled. Baron Julius von Brunk. Kino, come hang out with me in Lower Manhattan. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I'll come hang out with both you guys. We'll all get together and have a good time. Cringe emp equals hang out with Eggy in Manhattan a few few weeks ago. Yeah, I know. Sallow is the best date movie. Girls love it. Of course they do. Of course girls love Sallow. Come on. Whacked. Yes. Yes, he was whacked. Most definitely. We need a painting of him with the women and cocaine in the style of The Last Supper. I do agree with that, Trevor. I think that's a good that's good. Remember how much he shit on Eric? Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, and I see people in the chat, especially Baron, talking about how like Florian, yeah, he did leave all the servers that Mumkey put him in. He left all the servers that Mumkey put him in because we kept making corn pizza jokes. That was funny. The second I get here, Kino talking Sallow, nothing changes. Look, come on. It's a part of my personality at this point. A Serbian film analysis when? Actually, so I was at my local FYE, if you can believe that FYE is still operating. And I saw a Blu-ray of the Uncut, a Serbian film. I almost bought it. I almost got that Blu-ray. So I don't know, maybe at some point, but it's not going to be within the next few months. Yeah, I'm just going up through chat now, just reading what people are saying. Sorry that I wasn't interacting with chat. You rephrase that. Sorry that I wasn't interacting with chat too much, because obviously, like, we were, we were talking. I wanted this to feel like an actual podcast, just with, so I was reading super chats at the end, but now I will be, reading what people are saying and kind of going up and let me see. Let me just kind of go up and go from the start and see what people are saying. Justin Kim. Okay. Can't hear Oki well. What's up, Kino? Dogma was great. Wow, it's going way back, actually. Vince Vintage. I was in the background of Girls Gone Wild, episode 100. Yeah, I don't believe that, dude. Happy birthday, Kino. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vince. What is Whang wearing his swim shorts right now? We want to see them. Ghost Gum, who is the most base Twitter out of the three of you? That is a very hard question. Actually, Ghost Gum, let me make you moderator. All right, Ghost Gum is part of Wrench Gang now. We need K-pop and movies. No, we don't. Rebel, shut up. Too bad my boy Vinlove did not get the announcement for the stream. Yeah, I think he did, and then I think he deleted his stuff because I saw that he was in the chat and then he wasn't. I didn't do anything, so oh wait. Hey Kino, can you give your opinion on Florian Himsel? Yeah, Florian hit me up like a few weeks ago. It was like, oh, actually my mom watched Nomadland and she really liked it and she thought it was a great film. And I was like, okay. Like, all right, that's her opinion, okay. Let me see. Hi, Rebel, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to make sure that I respond to anyone. LOL, Kino, your personality is literally the movie American Psycho. I hope it is.
He's literally Patrick Bateman.
Tom Bombadil, I'm reading the American Psycho book right now. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a really good book. I agree. It's a really good book. It's really funny. A Serbian film is the Marvel movie of disturbing films, in my opinion.
Huh?
I don't really know what that means, but I guess because it's just sort of mainstream or something like that, or doesn't go that far.
I get that then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I guess I can understand that. I haven't seen it though, so I've yet to really make an opinion on a Serbian film because the versions that I had access to were like the censored versions, and I didn't want to watch like a cut, or like a censored version of it. I wanted to see like what the intended version was.
It's not
but
very good.
I heard that. I heard it's just not that good. And the Blu-ray of it was like $30, and I was like, I don't know if I want to pay $30 for a Blu-ray of a movie that I'm not like I don't have a lot of faith in.
I think that's like one of the movies that it's fair to just like torrent it.
I'm not going to say that.
Torrents.
I live in the United States. Right?
Go
what
ahead.
Is your
what say?
So Blue Man asks, what is your contingency plan on when you get canceled?
You've already been canceled, kind of.
Yeah, I've already been canceled, kind of like in a really weird way. I just don't think that I'm gonna change anything. I guess I have changed a little bit where I really only talk about movies and stuff online. I try not to be nearly as online as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
My work is not really in YouTube. YouTube is just like a fun thing that I do on the side. So, people won't watch my YouTube channel anymore. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
That's not where I get my money from. That's not my main line of work or anything like that. So it's like, honestly, who cares? Out of all of your guys' YouTube friends, whose mom is the hottest? I don't know. I don't even know what
anybody's moms look like.
Yeah, I don't know what your mom looks like. I don't know what Klink's mom. I don't know what anyone's moms looks like. So, TJ asks, Oki, you gonna do a main channel video on McAfee?
I already did.
Yeah, he did a bunch.
Well, I mean, I've done the series, but I also did like after the day he died, I made a video, and what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna re-release the series with an addendum, an additional part to wrap everything up from 2018 until the time he died, and I'm gonna release it all as one video rather than a series. So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on the Jacob Ball thing at the same time.
Yeah, when do you think you're going to release that Jacob Wall video?
I'm not sure. Don't ask.
Alan's going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to show Alan's short film because he sent that to me. TJ said, I mean a follow up to what just happened. Yeah, so I guess you just answered that. Alan and Vinlove unite. Sallow or Brazil?
Brazil.
I would say Sallow.
Really? I haven't seen Sallow in so long, so I can't even comment. I gotta rewatch Sallow because you constantly bring it up. So
yeah, no, I love both of those films. Like we of course, in my server we refer to Brazil and Sallow as the sacred texts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Brazil is a great movie.
Yeah, it is a great film. I love it. Let me see. Let me look up. See, there's some other people saying some stuff. Florian's mom BTFO's Kino Corner. Yeah, definitely got BTFO'd by some Austrian person who never watched my video. Yeah, no, I mean, but I think that I think the question about being canceled is, I've thought about that though, and as I said, like, YouTube is just like a side project for me to just like have fun and make videos and share that kind of stuff.
Go on, sorry.
And I think that like there's this weird, I don't know what it is. Like there's this weird sort of moralistic stance that people like to take on YouTube now that has not been taken on like entertainers for maybe a very, very long time, where it's like, oh, if you say one thing that I don't like, or if you do this one thing that I disagree with, or something like that, or, you know, with the case of Call Me Carson, it's like, oh, you're a 19-year-old talking to a 17-year-old, like, oh, you're just like the most awful person, I'm going to cancel you, or something like that. It's like, that's so weird, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's so fucking weird. Like, why do you care about any of this shit? And I think that if you're an artist, you know, and I had some people being really cringe in my replies and going like, oh, he's talking about, when I was like, yeah, if you're an artist, you have to believe in free speech. Like, I don't care like what politics you are or anything like that, but if you're an artist, I think that you have to believe in free speech, because part of being an artist is being able to talk against the establishment, is to kind of go against the mainstream, you know? And some people are like, oh, he's talking about political free speech, he's not talking about social repercussions. That's a really sort of stupid way to even think about that. Because some people are super like, you know, like they're Karens, or like they're HOA types, and they'll try to, you know, you'll say something they disagree with, and they'll try to call your business, and they basically make you out to look like some kind of villain or something like that, and get you fired from your job. I don't believe in that at all. Like this whole like, oh, it's consequence culture, it's not cancel culture. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. You're just a fucking Karen. People who are like that, you're just like some fucking nobody that wants to have this power trip over other people, and you're a fucking loser, and you just want other people to suffer. That's all you want. I don't believe in that. If you're like that, I don't want to have anything to do with you, and you can fuck off. Honestly, I hate those kind of people. Like, I don't hate most people, but people like that, I really, really dislike. And I'm like, so this whole idea of like, oh, he's talking about political free speech, not social free speech. No, I'm talking about social free speech too. Like, I remember a time, like, Oki, you and I are old enough to remember a time when somebody could go say something controversial, and maybe people would talk about it. Maybe, you know, it would get some people riled up or something like that, but it wouldn't make them lose their job. Like, I think that having people who say controversial things is important in society. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely like kind of a bully Karen culture to, you know, just trying to like check people for every little thing that they do. I'm thankful that, you know, there's not going to be like a whole cottage industry. Like if I got canceled or something for doing something wrong, there wouldn't be a cottage industry of like YouTubers who make videos about me. So it wouldn't be like a creepy art show situation where it bleeds into YouTube. It would mostly be on Twitter. You know, I've had like situations where it's like I felt like, oh, I didn't really exactly come out in the right here, but it was buried quickly. So I'm glad about the position I'm in, where it doesn't bleed into like the commentary YouTube infrastructure, where like, you know, I'm gonna be canceled like on YouTube and on Twitter.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of the people who even like dogpile people during cancelings don't even really believe in the stuff, or they have such a warped view of reality because they're 17 years old, you know? You know, like they're like a teenager who thinks that they know everything. And the problem with the internet is that it's allowed the stupidest people to have the largest voice. You know, I just think that there's a lot of people that dogpile in that maybe don't even necessarily believe in it, but they just know that they want to cash in on the views, and they have to have the right opinion. Otherwise, they could get canceled themselves. There's a sort of weird sort of economy going on there.
They're all like, a lot of them are just opportunists, and you know, just jump on any kind of like new thing that's like popping off. And I'm glad I'm not in that ecosystem. Like, I'm not a John Swan who's in the drama commentary ecosystem where like everything can just like end for me because I make a mistake, right? So, you know, I'm in a very comfortable position, I suppose, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
With it.
I guess same here. I don't talk about like YouTube stuff or commentary stuff that often. I know I made the meme about Creepshow art because I trolled her a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I made the meme about her, but other than that, I'm not going to really get involved in any of this stupid drama, because when you get involved in the kind of drama, you're also sort of bringing it on yourself for people to, if something comes out about you that's maybe doesn't make you look good, you're kind of bringing it on yourself to have all that, people dogpile you on that. And the thing is that nobody is perfect. A lot of people have skeletons in their closet. A lot of people aren't perfect. Just about everybody is just not a perfect person, if you can believe that.
Oh wow!
And
imagine that. Imagine that. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like we're in the Twilight Zone, where it's like, oh, you have to be like perfect, immaculate in every single thing that you do, or else you should be shunned for the rest of your life, and your career should be destroyed. Even it doesn't, like, it went from, I think that like a lot of this like stemmed from like the Me Too era stuff, which I mean, it started with really one of the worst things that you can possibly do to someone, which is rape. And it's gone to this point now where it's like he could be canceled for making someone feel slightly uncomfortable, which it's a joke. It's
it's a total joke. But the problem is there's so many, like, forget who said it. Maybe it was Churchill, but it was like, talk to the average person. If you talk to the average person, you realize how stupid they are. It was something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that people who are terminally online tend to be a little bit dumber than usual.
More autistic than usual.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of people have mental illnesses, and
they care more about this kind of stuff. Like, I remember just like, you would hear this shit about celebrities, fucking up and doing all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, oh, well, they're an artist, right? They're an actor. You kind of expect them to have a little bit of a fucked up life, It's like, as long as it's not like something absolutely horrible, like, who cares? And now it's like, oh, we're going to cancel this person because he flirted with a person 2 years younger than him or something like that. It's just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no one really cared when James Franco was like 40 and was trying to sleep with 17-year-olds, but people care when a 19-year-old is like flirting.
People don't care that Leonardo DiCaprio is like fucking almost like, what is it, like 40 something, and like he exclusively dates like 19-year-olds. Like, people don't give a shit because he's I
don't give a shit because, I mean, it's like, it's legal age. Like, come on, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's like it's just a witch hunt. People like to see people be teared down. It's like that South Park episode, like the Britney Spears thing, like the where they're like, they try and like they want to burn her, and like people are just like, I don't know if you've ever seen that South Park episode, but like,
oh yeah,
it kind of shows this thing where it's like people like to build people up as much as they like to burn them down, and
it's such a weird thing, right? Like, it's so weird because it's like, at that point you realize that to all these people in the world, you're not a person. You're not a real person with real feelings, with a real life, with a family, with friends, with kids, with whatever. You're this piece of entertainment.
Exactly. They disconnect you from your personhood. They see you as just like an avatar for them to put their rage onto, and to enjoy taking down, but they don't think about you as a human being in that situation, and even other situations. I think that that's one of the biggest mistakes that anybody who has a platform can take, is like to think that like people who are, consuming your content actually care or think about you as a human being. That's just not true. They don't. So
Yeah, I don't really believe in, as I said, the one. I'll talk privately about some certain matters, about some YouTube drama or whatever, but other than maybe a meme or two, I don't really believe in dogpiling people because I also know what it's like to be on the other end. And if people didn't know, what happened recently to me, it happened about a month ago, is that somebody took a lot of my tweets, they took them out of context, they took them out of all sort of context, right? They made like a PDF of it and they sent it to my family members to sort of paint me as like this weird kind of like just depraved kind of like evil guy or something like that, not showing the context of my tweets, where most of my tweets are just memes, or I'm just sort of continuing jokes or something like that. Like I don't really take any of my tweets that seriously. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I see Twitter as just a shit posting. I know you see it the same, where it's like, yeah, I can tweet something. It doesn't mean I necessarily like believe it. I'll just say something because I think it's humorous. I'll think it's funny, and I'll retweet something, or I'll say something just because I think it's funny. It's not because I actually mean it. And so somebody took me out of context to send it to all my family members to basically try to get my family to disown me. Yeah, that happened about a month ago, and it was a very stressful time. And I realized that this person just saw this as saw this as some kind of way to have like power over me, and some kind of.
And that's all it is, right? Because like, you're not a politician. They're not doing anything really that's going to affect anything other than just tearing you down for no reason.
Yeah. They're tearing me down for no reason, and it's not like I'm hurting anybody.
No.
With my tweets, I'm trying to make people laugh. That's all I try to do with my tweets, right? I want people, when they're doom scrolling through Twitter, through all the terrible news that we have every day, all day, right? And they see one of my tweets, and it's just like something that's goofy, that's lighthearted, that's whatever. They can look at it, they can laugh, and it takes away from their doom scrolling. That's all I see it. That's what I see it as. I'm like, I want to just lighten up the Twitter timeline because everyone is so fucking serious all the time. I don't want to be some guy that just contributes to this negativity online.
It's just a sickness. It's a weird, twisted sickness. It's
yeah.
What do you get out of it other than like some sort of fake power? Nothing. Yeah.
And I'm like probably one of the most like pacifistic people, one of the most like pacifistic people. I don't even try to get into like online arguments with people or anything like that. I just try to make people happy with my content, with everything that I do. And it's just like to have somebody who I supposedly know, I don't know who this person is, do this to me just to make my life miserable. It's so fucking evil. I honestly think it's evil.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm just like, I'm not doing anything that hurts anybody.
No.
And it's just like, it's just evil. And it's just like, yeah, I don't get it. And people who cancel other people, they operate on that same level. They get this like power. It's like, wow, I contributed to the canceling of this person. I did something that meant something, even though it means maybe this person killed themselves.
Yeah. Well, they probably get off on that too.
Yeah, they like when Zoe Quinn, with the one guy that she supposedly falsely accused of, raping her, ended up killing himself, and then she was like dancing on his grave right after. And it's just like, I don't know how you could even think like that, man. Even if that person did something to me and I spoke out against it and they killed themselves, I would still feel super bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just don't like hurting people. I'm sorry. Like, it's just that's not my MO. I just like having I like trying to foster I like trying to be nice, and fostering a good community of supportive people and everything like that. Rebel says people just need to go outside more. than to ruin people's lives on Twitter.
No.
Yeah,
Gotta touch
yeah,
grass, right?
yeah.
That's the
Touch,
meme?
yeah, the touch grass meme. No, but I think that like even if they weren't on Twitter, they'd be trying to do that in real life. But the thing is that when you try to do that in real life, you actually have to like back up what you're saying. Because when you do stuff like in real life and you have to confront somebody in real life about stuff, you better have a really good argument. But on Twitter, you can just have accusations, just throw them at the wall. And then you're going to have a bunch of people that believe you. You know? It's a lot braver to come up against somebody who maybe has done you wrong in real life than to just make a tweet about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's been a fun
Twitter
stream.
would yeah, it's been a fun stream. Hey, let me just put this for the chat. If anybody has a final question for me or Oki, I know that there's probably like a minute delay here, but if you have a final question for me or Oki, put that in the stream, and we're going to end the stream here in just a couple minutes. So if you have a final question, I'll read it out. And yeah, so Oki, thank you for coming on. Thank you for helping me host, because obviously
awesome.
my
I'm looking forward to tomorrow with the fucking. Is it tomorrow?
Oh yeah, it's tomorrow. Actually, Cinemassacre's intern Dan the Latch, he submitted a Sneed film, so we'll be watching his.
Yeah, dude. How many submissions did he get?
So I got a bunch of submissions for the regular short films. I'm gonna have to go through all those probably tomorrow morning, to find like because I got so many. I didn't think I would get that many, but I got a lot. So I have to sort of trim through those, and what I'll do is I'll just like forward those emails to you so that we can watch those on, so you can just like bring them up on stream.
Okay, sick.
And so I'll watch those tomorrow morning and send all.
I'll have to download them, right?
Yeah, you'll probably have to download them.
You have to send it to me tonight, and then I can download everything and like have it ready.
Yeah, or I wake up at 6 a.m. So
send it to me. Send it to me, and then.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in the morning. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
And yeah, so I'll just watch the short films, send you the ones that I want to show. And the winners, so there's going to be 2 winners of the Sneed film and then the pre-made short films. And the winners are going to get, I'm going to give them a subscription to the Criterion channel.
Oh, sick. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So who's got the last question?
Yeah, so there's a couple more questions. Favorite video game from Alonzo Antolin. So, okay, you want to answer that first?
Well, okay. StarCraft 2 is probably my favorite video game. I almost got like to a level where it's like pro in StarCraft 2. I spent like a lot of time playing that game. I went to tournaments and I was pretty good at that. Not very good anymore. But I actually want to answer like the favorite sex scene question. And I'm not going to say irreversible. I think the Deep Blue, which is hold on. I always forget like whenever it's necessary to remember like the names of shit, like I'll forget. It's called The Big Blue actually. It's a 1988 film. It's directed by Luc Besson. And there's like a 2-minute long sex scene that is the funniest, most retarded sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, dude, no, before you say that, I want to say our friend Ren's Reviews is in the chat.
Ren's Reviews, hey.
Dude,
What up?
Ren, do you want to, should I add him? Just for like the next 5 minutes or something?
Let's do it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, yeah.
Let's go.
Ren, I'm going to add you right now.
I fucked up with Ren's the podcast we did with Ren, by the way. So
yeah, so we'll do that. Yeah, dude, I love Ren. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my my favorite boy on the internet.
He does like legit like good content. Like he'll go out and he'll like figure out like scenarios to like make skits about and shit and add it to his videos. Like he's like legit really good.
Yeah, he's really good. Dude, Ren, what's up? Are you there?
Hello?
Hey, Ren, what's up, dude?
What up, dude?
I can't hear you guys. Does this make for good content? Hang on, let me fix some settings.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey.
Wait, so I have another question.
Okay, now?
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
I can't hear you guys at all.
No, you can't hear me? Wait, check your Discord
Okay.
because it might be sending the audio through your microphone if you're using like a Blue Yeti or something. Because some microphones.
Can you guys troubleshoot me?
Yeah, I can troubleshoot you. Yeah, so if you're using like some microphones also operate as speakers, so it might be. Wait, let me type this in. Some mic operate as speakers, so it might be sending your audio through your mic. I'm just gonna answer this question. Is your movie coming to Blu-ray? Yeah, I'm sending it to a colorist. So I'm sending the movie. So I'm gonna be releasing my movie on Vimeo on demand either tomorrow or on July 1st.
Wait.
And
all the settings are pretty good.
Can you hear me?
Looking crisp.
Can you hear me, Ren? Are you there? I can hear Ren perfectly.
I can hear him.
We try one more thing here. I know you can hear me. Your guys is not coming through.
Wait one moment, Oki. I'm gonna.
Someone
my
said.
headphones.
Okay, hold on. Someone said that I resemble the Pokemon Mudkip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. I can hear you now. I had to open up Voice Meter to get it working.
Okay, yeah. What's up, Ren?
Oh, I just popped in here to let you guys know I got to go eat dinner right now.
Oh wow.
Ren, you gotta eat. Okay, so talking about dinner. I made something like 400 pilmeni.
What's that?
Russian. It's like Russian dumplings. So last Friday, I was like, oh, I feel like eating some pilmeni, right? I feel like eating some Russian dumplings. So I look up this recipe, and I do the recipe, and I figure out that it called for way less flour than meat. So I had like this huge bowl of like the mince meat, meat with like onion and spices and stuff. I was like, holy fuck, I'm going to have to make way more dumplings with this. And I was like, it'll probably be like one more night. No, I spent the entire weekend making these dumplings.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'll be eating them all week long.
Nice.
Yeah.
But no, Ren, we're gonna have to redo that Kinokast.
That's also my bad. Yeah. So like I fucked up the audio, my recording. So, but it was a fun podcast. I'm sad that like that's not like people can't listen to that.
Maybe I can release just our audio, and then people can like figure out what Oki said.
No,
I think that we can re-record it, or you can do that as well. I think that takes a lot less work.
We'll just do it on Zoom next time, and that way you can get our beautiful faces, and we'll have a backup because Zoom does a pretty good backup.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd be down to just do another one altogether.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that.
So Jay Funky says Ren reviewing Raid Shadow Legends using the lyrics of All Star was also brilliant. And he also loved your Last of Us 2 review. Chad moved to film it while playing mini golf.
And
then Kim Jong-un says, I don't want to pick favorites, but Ren might be funnier than Whang.
But above him, Passer says that Ren does not equal Whang. So I'm going to take that as a compliment. He agrees with Kim Jong-un, and that I'm superior, I suppose.
Yeah. We're just boosting your ego before dinner, so you can have really good dinner.
Thank you.
What are you going to eat?
Yeah, it'll be
what are you
great.
going to eat for dinner?
Well, we're gonna cheat on keto today, and we're gonna have Raising Cane's.
Raisin Cane's. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, lovely, beautiful, crispy, flaky fried chicken.
Oh,
okay.
Cane's, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I like me some fried chicken.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the South though, so of course, like I like some fried chicken. But
It's gotta be great stuff over there, right? Like some classic mom and pop places.
Yeah, actually, so there's this really great place when I was shooting my movie, and Ren, I'll have to send you a copy of it.
Okay.
I was shooting my movie, and I was kind of in the inner city, but there was this place that was right next to my location where they made hot chicken, and it's that like fried chicken where they just like soak it in hot sauce, and I love it. It's so good.
That sounds good. Yeah.
They soak it in hot sauce, and they give it to you with toast. So you like eat the fried chicken with soaked in hot sauce on toast, and it's super good. That's like,
Can I
I
ask
think
you something? Oh,
yeah,
keep going. But I feel bad. Like, did Wang? He just left you guys?
No.
No. We did
it
we did almost 2 hours.
Yeah. It ended.
Streaming with
And he didn't
Naturally.
stay for the whole thing?
No, I mean, like, no.
Oh no, we
the way
told him
you're-
to leave. We told him to leave. No, he's editing. Like he has a deadline right now to edit a video. So, I told him that I didn't want to keep him longer than 2 hours.
We were supposed to go for an hour and 30 minutes, but it ended up being almost 2 hours. So, but
Yeah,
it was fun.
so-
I think it was like a lot of fun.
Okay.
It ended naturally. We're just going a bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I will say this too. I just watched Internet Historian's new video that he's releasing tomorrow.
Oh.
And it is very good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was helping him edit it today. Right up until we were streaming. And I think that it's going to turn out very good. So everyone, it's on his second channel. It's like his In the Field thing. It's a thing that he did with Samita Media. So everyone look out for that. I think he said he's releasing it tomorrow.
Okay.
So everyone be on the lookout. Ren, are you a fan of Mr. Internet Historian?
Oh, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Like we were talking about how Whang is like one of the nicest guys on YouTube, but Internet Historian is definitely up there too. Is one of the nicest guys on YouTube.
I haven't met either of them.
But you should come to VidCon.
I plan to, actually.
Really?
Yeah, this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
The place we're looking at actually can have 8 people in it. So hit us up if you want to like split an Airbnb.
Well, my girlfriend will be with me, and she's
Oh, okay.
she's
Ren's
a little bit of a
fucking?
biter.
That's all you have to say. Oh, I have a girlfriend. All right.
Ren, you're fucking? Like Ren's fucking, huh?
Yeah.
for you.
Mama needs her loving,
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just celebrating my birthday alone. What can I say? I'm celebrating it alone. Drinking some.
When's your
White Claw
birthday?
right
It's your
now.
birthday now? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
well, happy
I'm
birthday.
very old.
How old? Are you willing to say online? You
Yeah,
want to spill it all?
I'm 27.
Oh, that's nothing.
Ren, how old are you?
How dare you?
Come on. I'm 29.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's where I am. But I like to, on my YouTube videos, I tell everybody I'm 19 to identify more with the audience.
Fair enough.
It just makes you more. That's what the boys in PR tell me. It's the right move.
Wait, I think I'm the same age, like almost exactly the same age as the Act Man. Because wasn't his 27th birthday just like 2 weeks ago?
Maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
how old he is.
Yeah, and I know that Muda's 27th birthday was 2 days ago. Like he's only 2 days older than me.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. So Jay Funky says Internet Historian, Whang, Kino, Oki, the guys that create Unknown, and some of the nicest YouTubers I've ever met.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, thank you. And then Kim Jong-un says, "Yep, it's confirmed. Ren is the funnier guest. Sorry, Wang."
Oh wow, it's just picking
hold on.
favorites.
No. I appreciate that, but I don't think it's healthy to compare. Like,
Yeah,
you know
no, we
what I
shouldn't
mean?
compare. It's like comparing
Yeah.
penises.
It
Like,
probably is.
it's like being at the urinal and looking over, right, and being like, "Oh, that guy has a smaller dick than me," not knowing what it looks like, when it's in action, right?
I've never done that.
Well, I've never done that either, but I guess some people do.
I struggle to make regular eye contact, let alone that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of. Yeah. The cock tack. Cock
Yeah,
tack.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but you're all like, I'm always like super aware, when a guy like just like goes up to the urinal next to you when like every other urinal is like free.
Oh,
like,
yes.
What does this guy want? Like, this guy's some kind of pervert, and
He's lonely.
And you're just like looking at the wall in front of you, just like acting like, yeah, I'm not looking at anything except this like tile that's like right at eye level. And then you see the other guy just kind of like looking around, and you're like, what's this guy doing? Like I feel like I'm gonna be in that in that Dumb and Dumber, when he goes into the stall and it's like, you're gonna get love at 2:30 a.m. And then like the guy comes into the stall at exactly that time. I just always feel like that. I don't know.
Anyway, guys, I gotta go.
All right, yeah. Inoki is hosting the stream, so
yeah. I'm sorry.
GG's DSK says, Kino, you look way younger than your age. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. But yeah.
This
anyways,
yeah. Stream.
It's been a fun stream, and we're gonna stream tomorrow. So Ren,
hell yeah, dude.
If you want to come on tomorrow, Ren, we're gonna be watching some short film submissions by some of my subscribers. I've had a lot of short film submissions, and we're
how many you got?
As far as submissions go, I got a lot. I got to sort through some of them tomorrow to like weed out some.
Hang on, my girlfriend just got here. Kim, we were talking about you a second ago. I just joined like a impromptu podcast, and we were talking about you. Nathan.
See, before now, I thought that Ren's girlfriend went to a different school, but
she lives up. She lives over in Niagara. She lives in Niagara Falls on the other side of the Canadian border.
Oh man, he's gonna prove that it's real.
Yeah. No, amazing. But Ren, if you want to come on tomorrow, I think we're gonna be streaming at something like 6 p.m. Central, which is like 4 your time. But we'll probably be streaming for a few hours. So if you want to come on,
okay. Here's the thing. I'd really like to, but I need to get this video done by this weekend.
No.
Oh yeah, no, that's no problem. I'm just saying,
as they say, pull a Wang and leave.
He didn't leave. What are you doing?
He didn't leave.
Stop saying that.
Pull a Wang. No, I'm just saying that if we're still streaming tomorrow and you feel like hopping on, of course you're always welcome on our.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
All right, man. Well, you have a nice dinner, and tell your girlfriend that the Kino Corner said hi.
Hey, Kim. The Kino Corner says hi.
Her real name is Kim Basinger.
It's actually Kim Burley.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Stud.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. Peace out.
All right. See you, everyone.
Moshi Moshi. Bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum. Take care.